when it's a lag time. We don't have a very big audience. Then again, I don't know how many people really listen. I guess we'll find out later. But now this race course is 5.8 miles. And there's a lot of climbing. There's 384 feet of elevation. And there is a lot of technical aspects to this course. There's some slick rock as you're going around the bend. There's also a lot of loose rocks. There's a hill that's called the Jesus Hill, where a lot of the rocks are loose, and it takes a lot of technical abilities to be able to go up this hill. I'm pretty sure they call it the Jesus Hill because you pray the whole way up that you can make it. There also are different trails. The riders will turn onto what is called the Twilight Zone. That's a rolling single-track trail with slick rock sections and a few wooden bridges with ride-arounds. Next, another section of dirt road to allow for passing before turning into the Three Peaks Trail. One thing that's really awesome about this trail is there's a lot of places where they can pass up other riders. Some other trails that we're on, it doesn't have very many opportunity to pass others, but this one has a lot of opportunity. So those that can push on through and make it past, they could sure outride Tommy. So this announcement just came in. We temporarily have neutral support. This is just a very good Samaritan that decided to step in. He doesn't have any parts or anything, but he is able to look over the bikes and see what he can do to help you out. So once again, thank you for stepping up and helping us out. Today was hard to get neutral support because there's also a Century bike ride going on called Goldilocks. It's a pretty fun ride if you haven't been on it, but that is where all the neutral support is today, is at that Century ride. We'd like to thank everybody that is out here volunteering today. This is not able to happen without volunteers. We actually can't even have a race without enough stationary course marshals. So the fact that we have volunteers out here and helping us out is a big deal. And so thank you to all of our amazing volunteers. Thank you to the parents that put in the time, the effort, the money to have these kids come out and ride. This is an amazing event and an amazing organization to be able to be a part of. They have many, many programs to make sure that every child can ride. They even have scholarship. They have scholarship programs. And they also have a program that's called Elevate. For those of you who don't know what Elevate is, it is a program where children of any walks of life that may need a little extra assistance or have disabilities, that they may have a coach ride with them throughout the whole course. And so they are able to ride these courses and come across the finish line with a little assistance. We have another program that's called Grit. Grit is for our girl riders. It's actually a pretty awesome program, and it's always fun to go by Grit riders. And if you go by a bunch of girls and just say, "Go Grit," they all start screaming and yelling. It's pretty fun. We actually need to get more girls out here on bikes. It really is an awesome sport, and anyone has a chance to do this and has a chance to be able to push himself and improve. So whether boy or girl, 7th grader or senior, everybody can come out and nobody sits on the bench, as Chris would say. So it looks like we already have our varsity boys and girls that are out on the track. So our varsity boys are going to be doing 3 extended laps, which is going to be 22.5 miles. This is going to be an exhausting ride, but man, these kids can fly, and it is so fun to see them cruising by on these different laps. Also, like with our girls, they are stinking fast. I'm always impressed at how well that they can keep up. And since there's only a few of you here, there's some girls that can outride the boys. You don't have to tell everybody that.
Oh, absolutely.
But they're fast.
We have fast girls out there. I wouldn't want to compete against any of them.
Well, I don't think you could beat any of the girls, Chris.
I know I couldn't.
We would still cheer you on, though, because anyone can ride. So we have a lost helmet that's up here. So if you know that one of your students or one of your children has lost a helmet, we've got it hanging up here. It's beautiful. It's on display. So just if someone's missing it, let us know. We got it. So we know that there is a tall man standing at the end of the finish. He looks like a police officer. He might even tase you. But he's one of our crew. But don't mess with Wes. He can take you down. We actually have a really, really amazing race crew. They are so fun to work with. And it is a very elite group of people, and it's hard to get in. But it is your lucky day. And we are hiring for the race crew. So if it has ever been your dream to come and work on the race crew, now is your chance. I guess I shouldn't say elite, they let me in. I guess I shouldn't say elite, they let me in. They do take exceptions every once in a while. Our league is also, we are like totally with it on up-to-date knowledge of the social media. I just dropped my pen. It's gone. But we'd love for you guys to follow us on our social media page. And I will tell you what it is in 1 second. It is at Utah HS MTB. And if you are taking pictures of your kids today and you would like to see them on our page, let's see, we've got a few hashtags you can use. You can do hashtag more kids on bikes, hashtag my NICA-Y, and hashtag Utah HS MTB. And then we would love to put some of those pictures up that you took of your child today that you're so proud of. But speaking of pictures, we have got the top photographer out today. Her name is Angie. I'm pretty sure she's the best in the U.S. But she goes out and she takes pictures out on the course. And you can be able to see these pictures on our website under the races tabs after the race. And she puts a lot of work into this. Not only does she take beautiful photos, she also will go through and edit them and then post them up on the website for us. But she is with Selective Vision, is what it is called. And, you know, fun fact about Angie, she was a foot model in Milan. Maybe you could ask her to see her feet. She might smack you, but you could ask. I also would like to throw out a little recognition to the beautiful lady walking my way. Her name is Brooke. She helps put together all these races and makes it happen. She is the boss. Do not cross her. That orange skirt looks fancy, but she will not be afraid to kick you in the face with it. We also would like to recognize again, and we're going to keep recognizing it. Yep, we are. You know, sometimes we slip up. I'm not always good at math. But I'd like to point out our live stream on Game Live Studios. Our wonderful man over there, Sean. He has come in to save today so we could have a live stream. Their website is www.gols.co. That is for Game On Live Studio. They also have an Instagram at Game On LS, so you can follow them. But jump on and listen, or if you have someone at home that wasn't able to make it and was really curious about what's going on, and would just love to hear Chris and I talk to each other all day long, they can always jump on and listen. You know what? If you want to hear us later on, yeah, if you want to hear us later on in the day, if you're just missing our angelic voices, you can get on again and listen. That is our gift to you. You are welcome. Actually, that's Sean's gift to you. You can thank Sean.
Thanks again to our great race crew, too, that provides all kinds of great services here. We recognize our medical staff on race crew. Thank you for the work that you do to keep our riders and spectators safe. Our local EMS folks that are here and on hand in case we need their services. Hopefully we won't.
We have a rider coming on through.
This is Wyatt Johnson. I've actually had a chance to ride with Wyatt Johnson during practice. He gives it his all, every practice, every race. Nice work, Wyatt Johnson, Bingham High School.
Well done, Wyatt. We have an awesome volunteer. He's just trucking along, about to cross the finish line. Woo! Hand fist in the air. Finally made it across the finish line.
Hey, is that Anakin Skywalker there in his pod racer?
I think so. That was fast. It's one of
Race fans, we hope you're having a great time here in beautiful Cedar City, Utah, and the Three Peaks Recreation Area. This is a Bureau of Land Management, Department of the Interior administered site. These are your public lands, folks. Enjoy them to the fullest. Please use them responsibly. Be careful with fire. Clean up after yourselves, and make sure you're hauling out all of your trash. Thrilled to be down here in Cedar City. We have great host cities and venues, and hope you've had a good experience here. So it's going to be interesting to see as our varsity boys and girls come across to see what their lap times are. If I'm not mistaken, I think some of our faster lap times of the day so far are kind of in the 26-minute range. So we'll see what the difference is there. A lot of times, our varsity riders, they're obviously, our most experienced, most advanced riders. But our younger, up-and-coming riders, they're no slouches either. They put down some fast laps. So we'll make that comparison.
Yeah, it's actually always fun to see those. The younger ones, even in 7th and 8th grade, they sometimes can keep up with these varsity kids, and it's very impressive. And it's hard because these varsity kids are fast.
They are fast. Yeah, some of these younger kids, youth has its advantage. Looks like we've got our first varsity boys rider headed this way. So this looks like Porter Mitchell, Timpview High School. So we talked about lap times here. So lap time here for Porter Mitchell. And remember, he's on the extended course. 28 minutes there, even on the extended course. Also, he's got 2 more to go. And here comes a big group of riders.
3 just so close together. And they're going to keep it at this speed.
Let's see. We've got Gunnar Gardner, Nathan Guinness, and Isaac Draper. All in the mix there. Luke Anderson as well from Cedar Valley High School.
The thing that's so amazing is you see how fast they're coming through, and they keep this up for 3 laps. And they're extended laps, like you're saying. They can keep up this strength, and it is so impressive.
This is Graham Stevens, Timpview High School. Just to recap, we've got Porter Mitchell in first place right now. Gunnar Gardner, followed by Nate Guinness, Isaac Draper, and then Luke Anderson for our varsity boys on that first lap.
Here comes a group.
This is Branson Manning, as well as Wade Haas and Sammy Alexander in that group.
Comes another big group all together. This is going to be close. They're all pretty close together.
Jackson Weaver, Bennett Koch, Jackson Zucker, Kobe Mendenhall, Dawson Fonger, Ethan Roberts, Carson Coles.
I love when you see all those teammates close together and they're able to drift off each other, give each other a little break for a little bit. It may not seem like a lot when you're watching them, when they're right behind each other, but to be able to not have that drag when you're riding actually makes up quite a bit of time for you, and it gives you a little bit of a break.
Definitely, and especially over a 3-lap race like this, those that can manage their strength, that can take advantage of some of those drafting opportunities, those that know how to meter their output, they're going to be at an advantage over this 3-lap race. Looks like we got another group of folks coming through. Rylan Eckert, followed by Garrett Michaelis, Max Reich also in the mix there.
All teammates once again riding together. I love the teamwork that goes on.
Provo rider Jonah Edwards, followed by Lone Peak rider Brigham, excuse me. Sometimes I can read.
Yeah, Bingham sounds good.
Braden Nault, Westlake High School.
We also have Justin Allen coming in, a lot of strength. And we've got 3 more that's close behind him.
McCade Smith, Westlake High School.
We also have,
Mountain.
sorry about that. We had Cole Brimhall and CJ Fernley come through.
Michael Franson, Lone Peak High School, heading out on his second lap of 3 here for varsity boys.
We should be seeing one of our grit girls coming up pretty soon. But in the meantime, we got Nathan Goff. I'm going to say that's a solid yes on that last name. That is coming through with a 33-minute lap, which is still incredibly fast. Because remind you, these are the extended laps. This isn't just the regular lap. These are all extended.
Yeah, they get the bonus varsity section there, which puts them at another level. Now we've got the wind that's coming in, folks, that you can tell that's going to start to be a factor here for some of our riders. This is Brady Raina, Mountain Ridge High School.
Chris was saying, as the wind picks up and you're riding into that wind, it really affects your time and could just wear you out faster and faster. But I don't know, with these young kids, though, it seems like it doesn't. They make it look easy, like anyone can do this. Oh, wait, anyone can do it. Your time may vary, but anyone can get out here and ride. We suggest everybody do it.
Results may vary.
Your time definitely will vary.
This is Lone Peak rider Luke Fox coming across the finish line, heading out on his second lap.
Just want to thank one of our sponsors real quick, Nick Markison Auto. They pride themselves on helping you find a car you love at the most competitive pricing and financing available. Whether your credit score is over 500 or under, hopefully, at the highest, over 700 or under 550, we will arrange the best financing out there, or finance you ourselves. Choose any one of our 80-point, checked, fully certified, and warranted vehicles. We know you're going to find a car you love. So thank you, Nick Markison Auto, for your sponsorship.
All right. Excellent. That's our first varsity girls rider. That's Andalyn Agard. So her lap time is 30 minutes, folks.
also would like to point out another one of our sponsors, Hyperthreads. Hyperthreads has been with us for quite some time now. They are incredible sponsors. They have some of the best gear for your team, and you may able not talk right now. This is why I was hired. But no, they have amazing gear and amazing uniforms for all the team to help you look all put together and not some hot mess. But no, Hyperthreads, they have their trailer over here today, and they've got all sorts of fun merchandise. They even have cowbells. So if your voice is tired, you can go grab a cowbell. I do have to say, I saw this young man standing over here, and he has a cheater horn. It's a very loud horn. Oh, it's called a bazooka, apparently. He doesn't even have to blow into it. It does it all itself. I don't know if that's cheating. It's pretty awesome, though. It's loud. But no, if you want... Takes muscle. But if you want a noise maker of your own, fortunately they don't have the bazooka, but they've got some cowbells. They've got awesome shirts and socks and hats. Go over to the Hyperthreads trailer over there. Check out what they have. Also, they do have umbrellas. Hopefully we won't need to use them, but they do have umbrellas that are pretty awesome.
Also, remember Trek Bicycles, folks. When it comes to a NICA sponsor, they announced, they announced that in addition to the $1 million pledged to NICA, Trek will continue to contribute $1 from every mountain bike tire sold, as well as $10 from the sale of every full suspension mountain bike to NICA. Thank you, Trek, for your generous contribution across all NICA leagues. We can't do these races without our valued sponsors. Thanks for all you do. We also appreciate all of the work of our volunteers. We've got Dave here in the announcement tent here that's here to help us out. Dave is just one of many, many volunteers that have helped out. Dave's got a couple of kids in his program at Harriman High School. We appreciate him taking his valuable time to help us pull off these races without a hitch.
Here come some riders coming in pretty strong here. We're going to let you know who that is in just 1 minute. But they are both Lone Peak riders, some teammates riding together. That was Lily Watts and Ashlyn Massey coming through. Oh, and Sage Lawrence. I missed Sage. Sage was just cruising through. It was like a flash coming through. That was Ella Gillespie with Timpview High School. Right there we had Chelsea Carter and Claire Slemboski.
One of those riders wearing a pink helmet? Several studies show that pink helmets make you go at least 1.2% faster.
Absolutely. Totally agree with that. I do like to point out that Lone Peak rider, she was drafted right off that other rider, which is it's a really smart tactic, especially if you've got to do more than one lap. If it is not one of your teammates, they may not like it so much, but man, it'll help improve your score.
Absolutely, and over the course of these 2 and 3 lap races, those that know how to meter their output and save a little bit of gas in the tank for the final stages are going to really do it. This is Zaylee Paris from Riverton High School coming across the finish line here and on her way out for a second of 2 laps. So lap time still, we're at 35 minutes here, folks. That's quick for this extended course that they ride.
Right. Looks like we have Ashton Taylor, Sky Ogden, Ella Jones, and Celeste Daly that just came across. is their nutrition and hydration. One company that knows about this is one of our amazing sponsors, Ruby. We know it can be hard to eat those fruits and vegetables. They take time. They take time to prep. They're messy, and they don't always taste good. But without them, you lack energy and vitality. Ruby is an easier, tastier way to get your fruits and veggies. Simply pour the freeze-dried powder into a shaker bottle with water, shake, and drink. Thank you, Ruby, for sponsoring us today. And remember to keep that nutrition going, whether you are on or off the race course, so you can have the energy that you need. Rachel Nitchman coming across and Samantha Miller. It looks like, unfortunately, that they are starting to pull racers off the track. We have got some lightning coming on through, and we need to keep all of our riders safe.
Yes, folks, this is one of our least favorite announcements to make, but we do have lightning that's coming in within the range that we need to take shelter. We advise all those that are here in the venue that you seek shelter from the lightning. We are now in the process of all racers coming into the finish area. We'll finish with this lap. We'll keep you posted as details become available. Again, we ask all those that are in the venue that you take shelter. We've got lightning that's within the range that we need to take shelter.
We have Addison Dittmar that came on through, along with Lucy Jolly, Lillian Fullwider.
If you look off to the south, folks, there we're seeing lightning that within our 10-mile range. Please seek shelter. Coaches, we ask that you would help and encourage your team members to find shelter. We are pulling all riders off the course because of the weather.
So if anyone wants our autograph now, we will give it to you for free.
We would be even in more demand than we are now for our announcing services. There are literally several really low budget operations that are looking for our services.
Yeah, I get so many calls, like twice a year, to announce, and it's just overwhelming. But man, could you imagine if we announced for someone that went to the Olympics?
That would be pretty amazing.
We wouldn't announce at the Olympics. We'd just say, I announced for that girl once.
That's right. So it's 12:20 right now. The JVA boys, if you haven't already, you're 5 minutes late to your staging time. Please make your way there if you haven't already. We're excited to get things rolling again here shortly.
So I just saw one of our course marshals go out, and it looks like he's carrying a child on his back. But that is all the supplies that they have to keep everybody safe out on the trail, to make sure markings are there, to make sure they've got medical supplies. And we are so grateful to all those who volunteer to be able to do that. And even those volunteers, standing at the crossing gates, that's not always the funnest job. Oh, one's jumping up and down screaming. Thank you, volunteers. Because sometimes, you get those people that stop sign's not for them. You know what? We give all rights for anyone holding a stop sign that you can smack someone in the face if they don't listen to you. All right, or do it gently so we, no trouble ensues. We don't want any ensuing happening, or just suing straight up. But no, I'm just so happy to be up here, even when you just get dumped on. I just love that smell of a clean rain. And now we're seeing some blue skies in the distance, kind of far.
Definitely, if you look at the condition of the ground here, we're not soaked. This is actually going to probably be fairly beneficial to the course there to get a little moisture on it there. No predictions. Obviously, haven't been out there to see that. I know that our course marshals are out there making assessments, most importantly for safety, but also for the condition of the course to make sure that we're ready to ride. But opportunities here that we might have an afternoon session of hero dirt here, folks, for some of these next races that are on tap for us. We're less than 10 minutes away from our start in the JVA boys. We're excited to get underway again. Nice work, Coates.
So it looks like we've just got like about a half-hour delay, which isn't too bad. Man, for those who were here and felt that start. So we'll have the first wave of the JBA boys go out, and then shortly after we will have the second wave go out. We have got, man, let's see, how many are going to be out there? There's going to be a lot. There's going to be over 100 boys out there on the course riding. That's why we have to split them into groups, because sometimes when you get too many riders out there, it can get a little dangerous.
And again, that's just evidence, I think, of how popular the series has become, and that there's a huge amount of demand, for a series like this, that we have to divide up into these groups like this. Just hearing from race crew who, again, continue to monitor the weather situation, most importantly for the safety of our riders and for our spectators, but also for race conditions. The word that we're hearing is that expect some light rain just shortly before 1 o'clock there. So keep that in mind as you make preparations to come back out here and continue to spectate on our races there, to maybe plan for that. Represents one of our sweeps, so it doesn't have a name attached to it. But normally you'll see the rider's name, their school, and then somewhere down here it'll have their rank, like where they've finished there. That changes fast. Yeah. Second someone goes over, it changes. Yep. So then this actually gives sort of a. Okay, yeah, I'm familiar with looking at this. Okay. On my phone. Gotcha.
we are only 1 minute away from our next race starting. And man, I'm happy that we can start again. It looks like we just have a 30-minute delay for this next race that's about to start. We have 30 seconds left for this ride to take off. But it looks like as long as we don't have any more weather that hinders our races here, it looks like we're only going to be, 30 minutes off the starting time of this last race. And then the next one's going to go at 12:35. And then our JVB boys D1 is going to start at 1:30 and then 1:35. And so then it actually kind of moves, so there's only going to be like a 20-minute delay when it gets to our JV girls, the A group. It's only going to start 10 minutes later, actually, 10 minutes later. And this is due to our amazing race crew to be able to get out there and get things put back together quickly. So we're going to be able to, once again, as long as we've got some good weather still, and we don't get any more lightning coming through, because safety is our first priority. But as long as we don't have any more storms coming through, it sounds like we're only going to have, by the time we get to the JV girls, we are only going to have a 10-minute delay, which is amazing. So thank you, race crew. All right, it looks like I can see our JVA boys that are heading up the hill right now on their first loop. These guys are going to be doing 2 laps, and they are the extended laps. And I will tell you the distance they are going to be going here. So it looks like they do 15 miles. And 15 miles is a good distance to ride. Right now the temperature is there's a little briskness in the air, but it's nice and cool. It's cloudy over top, so we don't have the sun beating down on them. But this ride is a really, really fun ride. There are some very, very rocky parts that take some more technical skill, but there's also some slick rock. Ooh, that hopefully dries in time. Otherwise, it really is slick. Otherwise, it's really grippy and just fun to ride on. There are, with the extended lap, there's some extra, I guess you could say some extra trails that they get to go on and explore out on this amazing course. There's about 384 feet of elevation gain on this whole course. And so when these guys are doing 2 laps, by the time they come around that first lap, they are already pretty exhausted and then go head right back out so they can finish the full 15 miles. But it's always fun to see as they come around for that first lap. It's always fun to see those that were able to push hard and endure through it and even beat their first lap time. It's really, really exciting to watch. I just get excited for race day. I just really get excited. I get excited to watch them. I can feel the anxiety pumping through them in a good way. In a good way, though, and it is just loads of fun. All right, in 1 minute, it sounds like our JVA boys, the second wave is going to be heading out. And so we will have over 100 boys out there riding on this track.
Well, folks, we're excited to have races resume for you this afternoon. Conditions out on the course, I'll be curious to see if we've got mud on some of the racers out there. The first part of this course, of course, heads out into a fairly technical area with lots of ups and downs across slick rock. They're also into some dirt sections that are through that. Lots of sand out there. And we've just started the, I think, second wave of our JVA boys. They've just taken to the course there. If you look down to the south of us here, just beyond the course marshals and first aid tent, you'll be able to see those that next wave of JVA boys passing by here any second. Please be mindful there, especially in that sort of crowded area out there where we've got both foot traffic from the parking lot as well as riders on the race course kind of in close proximity to each other. Please give those racers a wide berth so that they can have the safest, fastest path forward there, and we can avoid any sort of accidents. Yep, there comes the leaders of that second group of our JVA boys, just passing by the first aid tent on their way up to the to that techie first portion of the course. If we've got any of the campers that are out there close to the race course there that have some reports on trail conditions, come and let us know here at the announcer's tent so that we can share that. Be curious to know what sort of conditions our riders are facing after the rain. My sense is that we're not soaking wet and that the moisture's probably done some good in terms of tamping down some of the dust that's probably kicked up from the earlier riders and earlier racers have gone through there. Please be mindful as you make your way to the course. We've got lots of really great viewing opportunities here because of the unique rock formations that gives lots of really interesting and unique vantage points to watch the race. But also, please be mindful of the danger that some of these formations can pose. Make sure that your kids are being safe there. We hate to have any accidents off the course. Also a reminder that we are extremely fortunate to be here at the Three Peaks Recreation Area. This is a Department of the Interior Bureau of Land Management special recreation area. These are your public lands, folks. Enjoy them, but enjoy them wisely. Please be careful with your use of fire. Follow all of the guidelines and restrictions that might be in place. For that, keep track of your trash and haul out everything that you bring in. We're lucky to be here and to enjoy such great facilities. Thanks also to our course marshals, our race crew that keep things running smoothly. We can't say enough about all of our volunteers that are made up of parents, coaches, assistant coaches, folks that are interested in participating in mountain bike racing. We couldn't do these races without you.
Absolutely. And I just think we're just lucky to be in Utah because there are so many amazing trails, and kind of seems like anywhere you go you can find a fun trail to ride on.
Absolutely. I mean, if you just think about the central region, we started out at Powder Mountain. We're up there in those subalpine and alpine conditions there where we've got sort of Pacific Northwest type conditions through evergreens and, beautiful loamy soil for the racers to ride on, to the sort of high mesa landscape of Price there where you got that steep climb up to the top of the plateau there and kind of a relatively flat area before you drop down into the valley floor again. We've got, and now we find ourselves here at Three Peaks where we've got, classic southern Utah pinyon juniper, as well as slick rock landscape that's so indicative of, this beautiful area down here in southern Utah. And then we'll finish up at Eagle Mountain, where we've got, classic Lake Mountain type terrain there with rocky and dusty soils there that we'll always be concerned about the wind. But, just a great diversity of terrain here that we are so lucky to be able to take advantage of.
Absolutely. We also have 4 different regions. And so as you look across, you can go on our website, www.utahhsmtb, and you can go see where all of our venues at. But some of the other ones, we go up to Beaver Mountain that is up above Logan, and it's beautiful up there. We had beautiful weather this year. And other places we go down to Moab, and then also to Soldier Hollow, which are all just amazing courses I mean, you can't go wrong riding a Moab. I don't think that's even possible.
No, it's not world class. Moab that's got a worldwide reputation for its Red Rock and Slick Rock arches and Canyonlands National Park within striking distance there. Beaver Mountain, those are my old stomping grounds from Utah State University and heading up Logan Canyon to ride there. I haven't ever been to a race up there, but look forward to that at some point. And then Silver Mountain. Who else in the country has a former Olympic venue as a place to hold a mountain bike race for high school students? I imagine maybe there's something out there, but I doubt there is.
Oh, I doubt it. We're just going to pretend like there isn't, because it's pretty awesome that we do have that. And really, that's why we had the Olympics here. It's amazing.
It definitely is.
Now, one thing that I love is that each course is so different too. I mean, there's always, the technical side of things that you've got to be prepared for, but every terrain is so different, and so you never know exactly what you're going to get until you're out on the course, and it can change year to year too.
For sure. And this course in particular, I think, offers, probably the largest
Don't mind Sean. He's just being a little loud and rowdy over there.
I don't think I've seen a course on the circuit that offers as many different lines in such a compact area there. This course, I think, is really going to reward those that have those bike skills, that really exercise kind of those fundamental bike riding skills of sort of bike body separation there, that really gives them the opportunity to move that bike around and maneuver through some of these tight crevices and over drops off of slick rock and that sort of thing. Probably give them the chance to pass riders that have chosen maybe safer, but in some cases maybe slower routes there, and maybe make some passes in areas that in some courses just wouldn't be possible. So I think that's going to be really exciting.
For sure. That is one thing that is super great. I am curious at how many mud puddles we have out there, though. See how muddy these kids start coming in, because when it was raining, they were getting pretty muddy.
So if we start seeing riders with mud on their bikes and jerseys coming in, we might have to start a sort of unofficial who's the muddiest rider contest as they come through here.
I think the winner gets the lost helmet that's been hanging here all day. I think it's dried up. It's not so sweaty anymore.
Yeah, if you've lost a gray helmet, it's we've got it here at the announcer's tent there. It was found, first thing this morning. And if you've got a rider or family member that's missing a helmet, make sure you swing by and see if this is the one. My husband bought a really, really nice helmet for my son. I think he had it for a solid week before he lost it. He was pretty sad about that, and then he had to go buy his own helmet. Wasn't super excited about that. So yeah, if you have something that's lost, you can always come ask us here or go to the registration table. Usually we can find stuff, but not always. There's not a guarantee on that. As you can see, we have a little bit of light rain falling. I think that's probably going to be the story throughout the rest of the day there, with just highly variable weather conditions. It's my understanding that, at least in the short term, there is no additional lightning forecast, but of course that is always subject to change. We would ask that you just be mindful of conditions, both for your riders but also for spectators, in the interest of safety. As the race crew continues to monitor the weather situation, we will let you know if there are specific hazards that we face, and provide instruction and detail on what you need to do to avoid that. Again, we appreciate your cooperation with so quickly evacuating the venue and seeking shelter. That makes our job much easier and makes sure that everyone stays as safe as they can. Thanks again to our coaching staff, our head coaches, our assistant coaches. I see Coach Norda off to the east there, surveying the landscape there. Appreciate all of the hard work that these folks put in to teach our student athletes correct bike principles, but they also teach them how to have fun. They also teach them how to be good sportsmen. They also teach them how to be good friends. So many incidental great things that go on with these programs. And this only happens because of the great coaching staff, the folks that give so much of their time and effort to making sure that our student athletes' mountain biking experiences are our absolute best.
As we were watching the varsity girls come in that absolute downpour and the cold, cold wind, they're all standing at the end with their coaches, and as their teammates were coming in, they'd go wrap an emergency blanket around them, and they'd do a big, huge, team group hug. It was beautiful. I think I might have got a little teary-eyed.
It is neat to see that. I think that's probably one of the greatest things that comes out of activities like that. The team building, the camaraderie, the lifetime friendships that develop through these races there. I know memories are being made today that our student athletes are going to remember, throughout their lifetimes. They're probably going to share them with their kids one day and get their kids excited about participating in something like this.
Yeah, it's always all about just having fun and teams working, cheering each other on. I know that that's one thing that my son absolutely loves is when he's riding. There's only about 2 of them on his team in the same category, and so the rest of the team comes and they are just screaming and cheering him on. And to just watch that at every race, you see that every race where those who are done riding or getting ready to ride will come and just cheer on their other teammates. And yeah, it's really awesome. There's never a moment where teammates getting mad at another for affecting their time.
For sure, and you see that race after race and with team after team. It seems to be universal here in our sport there that there's just excellent sportsmanship. Nice work, Gabe.
This is Gabe. He is like the all-star course marshal. You guys should all ask for his autograph.
You should. He's a rock star. He's the one that makes sure that this course is as awesome as it is and as safe as it is. So big round of applause for Gabe.
I heard a whistle and a clap. I think that's like star quality. So just a quick reminder as we're going to start having, riders coming in through the finish line. Well, and this goes throughout the whole course. If you are on the course watching, do not cross over the trail. I know it's super tempting to see if the other side has got a better angle for your shot. Both sides can get a beautiful picture. Do not cross over the trail. It is dangerous. We've actually had one of our riders slam into a kid. It was actually really, really sad. It was one of our varsity riders just took a kid out, which also took our varsity rider out too. So you just really got to be careful. And even though it looks like they're pretty far down the trail, if you go run it across the trail, they're still going to hit their brakes a little bit because they don't know if someone's going to be running out. It just kind of messes with them a little bit. So just be respectful, stay off the trail. Don't let your kids run on the trail, please. And this goes, throughout the whole course. I know that's really tempting to just hurry and sneak across. But if all of us hurried and snuck across, we'd never get a rider through now, would we? We have a whole bunch of amazing sponsors, though, that make this possible. I'm going to tell you about one of them right now. We have got a photographer that is out on the course, and you'll see her. She's just a beautiful, gorgeous blonde walking around. She's got a big old camera. She's got a couple of cameras, actually. But she is on the course today taking pictures. It's with Selective Vision, and her name's Angie. So if you see her, just scream out, "Angie, we love you!" And she will love you back. But no, she is out on the course. She's with Selective Vision. It's the Utah League's professional photographer. Pictures of the race can be found on our website under the races tabs. She always puts up a whole bunch of pictures, and they're always well done. She spends a lot of time going through, editing the pictures. But go through and see if she, by chance, was able to snap a picture of your kid. And you know what? If she didn't that race, go back and look again. It is absolutely impossible to get every child, a picture taken out on the course, but she does a pretty good job at getting as many as she can.
She absolutely does. We'd also love to see the pictures that you guys take. We know that there's a lot of talented amateur photographers out there.
That's a segue, my friends. That was beautiful.
Well, that's why they pay us the medium-sized bucks, right?
Big bucks.
If you've got some great shots that you've taken yourself throughout the course of the day, we'd love to see those. Come and check us out on Facebook and other social media. We're on Instagram and on the Facebook there. Check that out. One of the things we were also talking about, too, during the break is that with the caliber of athletes that we have here, it is not too much of a stretch of the imagination to think that in the next 8 or 10 years that we could have some Olympic athletes that come out of this. If you just watched this past summer, the Tokyo Olympics, we had some pretty exciting mountain bike races there. Again, I don't think that it's any stretch of the imagination at all that we could have some of our Utah riders be competing at that level here in the not-too-distant future. And one of the ways that they're going to get there is by being involved with USA Cycling. USA Cycling is the sanctioning body that does so much for cycling sports here in the United States. They work with developing new riders, get into the sport, help out with leagues and competitions like this, but also help develop, train, support our elite athletes that compete at the highest World Cup and Olympic levels there. Again, I think we're going to see some of our Utah riders there in the not-too-distant future.
Well, I just want to clarify that you're not talking about me. I know that might be confusing if you see me.
That's exactly what I had in mind. Candace, you're going to be out there. We're going to see you on a Wheaties box with the gold medal around your neck.
I think the bobsled. I think it'd be, the skeleton. I think I'd kill it. I just say, but really though, I'm just so impressed with the youth, and that just comes down to, you know, as we've said before, the coaches' support, the parent support, and really the races that are put on. And this is one thing I think is just super impressive, is that here in Utah, we actually are going to have 15 of the National NICA employees come out to see how our races are put together down at Soldier Hollow next week. Because they have never put on a race as large as we have here in Utah. We have so many students that are just so enthusiastic to be out here and riding, and our race crews are outstanding. They're absolutely outstanding and are able to put on amazing venues. So just love the race crew. If you see them, just tell them thank you. Tell them they're awesome, because they do a ton of work. It is not as easy as it looks, my friends. Oh, and with that being said, just FYI, we also have an opportunity for all of you. If you would like to join Race Crew, we actually are looking for people to apply. You could go on to the UtahHSMTB.com website, or we actually have signs up and around that you can go ahead and use the QR code and fill out the application right there. If you feel super enthusiastic about it and you just can't wait, if you can find Brooke, she's wearing a gorgeous orange skirt as she prances around in all of her elegance. And just go up and say, I want to be one of your employees.
Yeah, this is a great opportunity. I just started to announce at the beginning of this year. I also help set up the course. It's an absolutely fun, super hard work. I'm not going to lie. We work hard on Friday, but incredibly rewarding experience to be part of this great crew. And if you'd like to join that, come on over to the volunteer desk at the registration pavilion just south of the starting line, and they can help you with an application, and we'd love to have you join our team.
Yeah, it just really, we have so much fun out here, and as announcers, it's an option to be able to come set up. I come and do it every time just because I love the people.
It is. It's a great experience. Just excellent. Couldn't meet nicer and better people. Okay, so we've got an announcement on timing. So for the JVB boys, we're going to have a 30-minute delay. So we're
So those are the ones that have gone. So it looks like it goes to 2:15, then 2:20.
is that JVB?
That is, oh, I'm off. JVB,
That's
yeah. JVAB.
JVB, so this is the time that you need to look at, not the others are the full time.
Just give us 1 second. We're going to give you all the updated times here.
So JVB is going out at 1:30 instead of 1. That's their start time. So they have a 30-minute delay.
Okay. So for JVB boys, we've got a 30-minute delayed start time, so they're going to be leaving at 1:30 instead of 1.
Everyone else is a 10-minute delay.
And then everybody else thereafter is going to be 10 minutes later than the start time posted on the schedule. So JVB, 30-minute delay from 1 to 1:30 for a start time. Everyone past JVB, a 10-minute delay past the posted start times. Thanks for your cooperation. Thanks for your patience with us there. Again, this is just shows, I think, the quality of the folks that we've got here on race staff. We take a difficult situation caused by the weather that created some safety concerns for us. We've waited that out. We've turned the corner now with some better weather, and we're doing our best to run a race for you here. It's that sort of nimbleness and desire to run these races and to give our student athletes, their coaches and parents and other supporters the best opportunity to have a great experience today. Thank you so much, race crew, for all that you do.
I'd just like to point out, I know we keep talking a lot about the race crew, and if you look over at Chris and I, we are some stunningly good-looking people, and our jackets may say race crew, but we do not work as hard as the rest of this race crew out here. As much as we'd love to praise ourselves, it is all those that are out there on the course that just are working so hard.
They do. I mean, there's an incredible amount of work. We're talking super early mornings. If you look at this area, just sort of right through the main finish line area, the coaches area, and this line of orange snow fencing we have in place, if you look, there's several dozen stakes that needed to be driven in this absolutely rock-hard ground. We use sort of mini sledgehammers to pound those in, but at a venue like this that has such hard ground, we actually need to use a hammer drill to drill a pilot hole so that we can then take the mini sledgehammer and drive those stakes into there. That is extremely hard work that race crew engage in. We also do it, we don't do it alone. We do it with the help of lots of valued volunteers that give their time freely to come and help and really put their backs into this and do a lot of hard work. So we appreciate all that you do.
Yeah, every time we get a volunteer that comes out, yesterday when we were setting up staging, we had 3 volunteers come walking up, and I think there was absolute tears of joy on my part anyway, that we could have somebody else come and help with the hammer drill and getting all those pins and pulls in, because it's just tough. It's tough, but man, they put on an amazing event. Some other people that do an amazing job is our live streaming crew with Game On Live Studio. Game On Live Studio came on really last minute with the NICA team. Ooh, and I'm going to tell you more about them in a second. We have got one of the racers in, and he's got a stunning large lead. He keeps peeking over his shoulder, but man, there's no one behind him. And he's wearing one of those leader jerseys. You can see why right there. That was Nathan Dutton that just came in with Lone Peak High School. He's going out for his second lap right now. And here comes our next rider, getting ready to go out on their second lap. And Chris is going to predict what this kid's name is right about now.
His name is Brandon Naismith, Lone Peak High School.
Chris is really good at guessing names. It's like you can see it in their eyes.
That's right. Looks like we've got Bingham rider headed out. That's Porter Gardner headed out for his second of 2 laps.
So overall, these boys are going to be riding 15 miles, and it's not an easy course. I do have to say, though, it is pretty nice that rain came through and kind of kept down all that moon dust, because it's not fun to inhale that.
I think it's going to make for really nice race conditions out there. So those top three all had sub 29 or sub 30-minute laps there. Looks like we've got a pair of Lone Peak riders. That's Matthew Foote as well as Clark Pugh, followed by Dean Alexander, also of Lone Peak High School.
So we saw
Jason Owen, Lone Peak High School, followed by Westlake rider, and that is Colin Draper, Westlake High School.
Looks like we've got another Lone Peak rider. Would that be Lone Peak? It looks like it on that jersey. Yes, indeed, it is. That right there is Jacob Ehrman, and he's going out for his second lap. Just to say, when we saw there was 3 Lone Peak riders that were coming in, we saw this with the varsity boys too, where they draft off each other to give each other a little bit of a break. And it actually, I love seeing that teamwork. We got 2 more riders. Who are these lovely gentlemen?
So we've got Cooper Peterson as well as Hayden Johnson. Yeah, over these multi-lap races, you've got to figure in, metering your output there over the course of 2 laps there. Interesting to see sort of the maybe potential teamwork and or cooperation that goes on, not just among, teammates, but also just riders from different teams, what they can work out to make their race a little bit better. That's Owen Johnson from Lone Peak High School coming across right now, headed out for his second of 2 laps.
Man, Lone Peak has got to be a huge team. You see a lot of their riders out here. We actually have one of their volunteers sitting in here helping us out. We love having our volunteers come and help us, and we've got an amazing assistant with us here today. It looks like we got more Lone Peak riders. This is a massive team. It's pretty awesome. It looks like we have got Jack Weston, Quentin Barney, and also George Grimmer. We've got a big group coming through here. That was Logan Wrigley, Grayson, where did it go? Aston, Lucas Aubrey, Sawyer Bartlett, Kyle Coates, and Hayden Fonger that just came through. They were all pretty tight and close. It's going to be interesting to see what happens on the second lap.
Got a pair of Westlake riders. First one grabbing a little bit of nutrients as he's going through onto a second lap. That's Peter Blair, followed by Jack Turkowski. And we've got Mason Fonsbeck, Gavin Clausen, and Easton Dukerat in that group of 3 that just came through.
I like the little peek over the shoulder. Make sure nobody's creeping up behind him. That there was Simon Springer coming through strong. Here comes a Bingham rider. That was Benjamin's. Someone tell me that last name. Is it Stefan? Stefan, thank you. Are you the mother over there? A proud mama? Oh, I love watching the parents out here as they watch their kids.
That's Lone Peak rider Parker Morris, followed by Bingham High School rider Gabe Tupai. Nice work, Gabe. Grabbing a little nutrition on the run here as he comes through the start-finish line. That's Boyd Bradford, Carbon High School.
You know, it's really important out here on the course, that especially as they're doing more than 1 lap, that they keep their nutrition and their energy level up. As we've seen a couple of them come across with their nutrition.
So keep in mind here, folks, that we've got, with these JV boys, such a large group, we've got, 2 categories of riders that are out on the course at the same time. Sometimes they get intermingled and intermixed there. please know and understand that our timing folks, our timing wizards, are going to keep track of those times there. That was Brighton Giroux, Provo High School, followed by Cedar Valley rider Andrew Peterson and Daniel Lewis from Timpview High School.
We also had Weston Taylor come through that we missed. Oh, and a huge group going through.
So there's only 2 gold helmets that I know of on the course today. One's one is by our very, very own Carson Howard. The other one's my son.
That's right. There is a Trace Jensen and Graydon Scarborough that just came through. That was Aiden Frank. I love the cheerleading team on this side. They've got some vocal cords over there.
Got another Carbon High School rider. That is Joey Barlow. This is Eli Norda, Bingham High School, followed by Martin Zanazzi and Lucas Keller, Lone Peak High School. Orem High School rider Spencer Gale. Our last race was down at Price, and the entire Carbon High School team just spent a huge amount of time working on the course down there. It made it a super fun and enjoyable course for us to ride on. This is Provo composite rider Sawyer Valentine, followed by a big group of riders here. So in that group there, we had Elijah Franson, Tate James, Hunter Pease, David Britton, Riley Williams, Ethan Anger, Gabe Jones. Another Carbon High School rider, Nathan Enger. Copper Hills, Ian Knoll. That's Canyon Aldridge. That's a great mountain bike name, followed by Bingham High School rider Alistair Wilson and Trevor Ray, Bingham High School.
I think some parents name their kids so they will ride.
I think so. I mean, how could you not be a mountain bike rider when your first name's Canyon?
Yeah, impossible.
Henry Clark and Regan Mason. Thanks, Sweep. Appreciate it.
We got 3 more riders that just came up over the hill. Getting a drink there along the way. Staying hydrated is really smart. That was Skylar Anderson and Jackson Bingham. Followed closely by Ashton Smith. That was Noah. I'm going to let you take over that last name there.
Tsubaki.
Very nice. And Timothy Fang. I got Fang. I can say that.
That's Brendan Campbell, Mountain View High School.
You know, as you watch these kids, you know, taking in their nutrition, one of the things that Nike, you know, is pretty diligent about is they talk about, you know, not filling these kids full of caffeine. They shouldn't have caffeine in their drinks. They shouldn't have it in their nutrition. Which I think is actually really great. It's a really great thing.
So another large group of riders here that includes Jack Nixon, Gabriel Stoddard, Adam Butler, let's see, Alexander Cutler, Cade Strong. We got a West Granite composite rider coming across. That's Tucker Grappendorf.
Yeah, there was one of the bikes that passed us that just sounded bad. And it is no good when your bike gives out on you in the middle of a race, and hopefully that he can make it through. That right there is Trevor Fish. His bike sounds wonderful, though. And Tanner Roth coming through. Trace James and Cole Payne coming through side by side. Man, I can't wait until the final lap. That's when you get all those sprints, and they are just neck and neck trying to beat each other to the finish. I get super excited.
So we got a pretty stiff headwind coming out of the south here for our riders as they come across the start-finish line. That's Joshua Williams. As that wind increases, that's going to become more of a factor. We got riders really pushing hard.
Yeah, coming up over that hill, you just see them giving it all they got. Coming down to the finish line, that right there, that was Seth Robertson. That was John Clayton with Harriman High School. Followed close behind by Noah Suchkowski and Dallin Armstrong. Coming up right behind them was Ammon Kirkland.
So we got lots of folks coming and joining us here on the finish line as we anticipate the finish of 2 laps on our course here. We've got lots of spectators up on the pretty impressive viewing spots here on the rock formations here directly to our west there. Please be careful when you're up there, but sure makes for good viewing.
Yeah, it really does. And if you look up there at the very top, that is part of one of the cameras of our live streaming, which you can go back and watch at any time. Our live streaming is brought to you by Game On Live Studio, and Sean is the one that stepped in and is helping us with the live streaming. Their website is www.gols.co, and also on Instagram you can follow them at GameOnLS. That is Game On LS. And then you'll get to see like clips of the race. Also, if you don't want to, listen or watch for 10 hours straight, I mean, you can skip, but why would you? I mean, I don't know why you would, because if you can watch it over and over, and if you can hear Chris and I like several days in a row, I mean, that's just a gift.
Who wouldn't want the dulcet tones of our voices to lull you to sleep every night?
I think at the end of this, we should sing a lullaby to help all those who'd like to drift off to sleep.
Right.
Looks like we have one of our course marshals coming up. Or is this one of our sweeps? We are going to find out here in 1 second. That would be a course marshal. Thank you, course marshal, keeping everybody on the path. All of our course marshals are volunteers out there, and they are wonderful, wonderful people. Thanks to all of our volunteers that come out and help. We can't do this without volunteers. And so we would love more volunteers, so if you just have a hankering to come and hang out with us and volunteer, go and sign up. Go and sign up, or even ask your coaches how you can help. All right, so it looks like right now for JBA boys, in the lead right now we have Nathan Dutton, and then it goes to Brandon I can't even say that last name, but his first name's Brandon for sure. Porter Gamer, Matthew Forte, and then Clark Pugh. Those are the top 5 leaders right now. So we're going to see as they come in for this final lap how much that has changed up. It looks like they came in all pretty darn close in between. Yeah, there's a 30-second lead in first place, and he came in at 28.27, and that was Nathan Dutton. But really, Brandon came in at 28.55, Porter at 29.09, Matthew 29.41. Oh, and Clark Pugh, they came through at the same time, 29.41. And so they are, just so tight. It really is anybody's race today.
So just a quick reminder here for our Wave 6 races there. That's going to be our JVB boys, both D1 and let's see, for D1, remember that is a 30-minute delay on the start time there from 1 to 1:30, and then each of the races after that expect a 10-minute delay from the start time that's listed on the schedule there. So that's going to be our next wave there, wave 6, JVB boys, D1, 1:30.
We have the wind that's picking up a little bit, and when you're out on the course riding in the wind, that can significantly change your time. It is hard to ride into the wind. Luckily, at the moment, knock on wood, we do not have rain. Because, man, if you are wet and the wind's blowing on you, you can't feel your fingers, you can't feel your toes, which is what we had earlier. But they all stuck through and came to the end. But right now, when the wind is going against them as they come up across the finish line, and so they've got to just push a little harder coming up. We have got a wheelie going on over that mountainside, and I am not even going to turn them in. That was quite impressive. Not turning that one in.
That's Lone Peak rider, Win Foss. Selective Vision. Selective Vision is the Utah League's professional photographer. Pictures of the race can be found on our website under the Races tab. With thousands of pictures to choose from, we know that you'll find a special moment captured. Okay, folks, a quick update on start times for Wave 6. JVB boys, D1, start time, 1:30. JVB boys.
Sorry, I'm cutting you off right there. We just had Marcus McCord come across. So he was with our second wave of JBA boys that came riding out, and he is going out strong. He was making some really good time there.
So back to our revised schedule here. JVB boys D2, that's a 1:35 start time. Then with Wave 7, that's going to be our JV girls A, start time of 2:20. Freshman girls, start time of 2:23. JV girls B, 2:26 start time. And then our single lap girls at 2:29. So those are all revised start times there. Again, JVB boys D1, 1:30. JVB boys D2, 1:35 start time. JV girls A, 2:20 start time. Freshman girls, 2:23 start time. JV girls B, 2:26 start time. And single lap girls, 2:29 start time.
You know, I love those single lap riders. It's just always a party, like the whole time. And they always give it all they got, but man, they are just having a blast the whole time. It gets pretty intense on when you get those 2-3 lappers, but those single lap riders, it's just all fun.
Absolutely. Well, and it just goes along with the principle here that in high school mountain biking, nobody rides the bench. Everybody gets out there. They ride the same course. Everybody gets to participate. I think that's one of the strongest points of this program is the level of inclusivity and the opportunity for everybody to have a great experience out there on the course.
Yeah. It's definitely not one of those sports where the coaches feel like they have to crush the children's soul. It is all about encouragement, and it's really fun to see them just go out and just beat their time from the last race. That's what it's about, is to, set your own personal goals and beat your own times and just have fun. That's what it's about. I just want to remind you that we have got a social media page. I know we are that tech savvy. I just want to tell you, we've got a social media page. You can follow us on Instagram at UtahHSMTB, where you'll see pictures of the race. Also, if you're taking pictures, which we all know you are taking pictures of your children, don't pretend like you're not. You've got them all over your Instagram. Just stick on a hashtag more kids on bikes, hashtag MyNikaY, and hashtag USMTB. And we'd love to share those pictures even on our Instagram. So use those hashtags, and we'd love to share it with everybody.
You know who else is tech savvy? That is Game On Live Studio. They're providing our live streaming for us today. We are thrilled to have them come on board and provide the streaming service today. If you'd like to follow along, not only for folks that are here at the venue, but for maybe grandparents, aunties, uncles that weren't able to make the trip or would like to follow along, send them this link or send them this website, www.gols.co, or find them on Instagram at GameOnLS, so that they can take a look at the pictures as well as the live stream, both audio and video. We got Sean up on the rock here just to the west of us here. He looks undaunted there in his storm gear, and he's ready for anything.
He looks quite majestic. Actually, speaking of that, I'm going to take a picture and use a hashtag. Put it right onto our Instagram.
Look at that. See how tech savvy we are here? Looks like we maybe had some on-course quick and dirty repair action going on to get a rider back out on course there. That's just what we do here, folks. That's neat to see that.
Unfortunately, we don't have any neutral support this race. All of our neutral support is out helping the Century ride Goldilocks. But we did have a coach just jump in for a few minutes, helping people kind of fix up their bikes. He didn't have any, actual equipment, but he was helping in any way he could. And that's the type of camaraderie we love to see, that, he was one of the coaches and was helping any team that needed help with their bikes at that moment. So if you're standing out here watching and waiting and you're getting a little chilly, you can head on over to Hyperthreads, and they got some pretty sweet sweatshirts and socks and hats. I even saw they had some beanies over there. I was tempted to go and snag one myself, just to stay warm and cozy. And all of their, well, everything. Their kits, their sweatshirts, their hats, everything is really nice quality. And like right now, today, I'm wearing a pair of their socks, and my toes are dry and toasty. They're quite wonderful, and they're really excellent riding socks, not just for walking around in.
Hyperthreads also provides all of our fancy race gear that you see us wearing, our shirts and our hoodies. We're grateful for their support. They make us not only look stylish, but provide functional clothing for us to be able to set the race course and to do the work that we need to do on race day.
We have lots of amazing sponsors. Like we just really the only way that this is possible is through our sponsors, and luckily we've got some pretty amazing ones. And one of them is Strike Visuals. You'll see all the tents up, but they do a lot more than just tents. They do the flags that you can see all of our flags up too, but they also do, the big blow up starting lines, or if you want to use it for a finish line. If you and your kids go out for a run and you want to feel like they're superheroes, go buy one of those big old finish lines for them. I'm sure it would be worth every penny.
So we're about 5 minutes away from the start of Wave 6 races. That's our JVB Boys D1. Looking towards a 1:30 start time, followed shortly thereafter at 1:35 with the JVB Boys D2. So we look forward to Wave 7. This is going to be our JV girls group as well as others. For the JV girls A, please be in staging by 2:05, looking towards a 2:20 start time. Freshman girls, staging area time 2:08 with a 2:23 start time. JV girls B, 2:11 at the staging and starting area, followed by a 2:26 start time. And then our single lap girls at staging at 2:14 with a 2:29 projected start time. Thanks again to race crew for their quick and agile response to difficult conditions here as we've revised schedules and trying to get things back on track. We hate to cut things short. We only do it really if absolutely necessary, and usually because of a safety concern. Race crew has come through with flying colors today as they've really, rallied and figured out new schedules and got things on track. Thanks so much for all that you do. Thanks to our course marshals that were out there when we had the rain that was coming down. They were making sure that our riders were safe, that nobody was being left unattended out on the course there, and making their way safe back to the staging area. We just don't do any of this without the support of a great race crew and also our volunteers that really do so much to make our races so special. Looks like we got our first rider coming in. Hands off the bars. That is Nathan Dutton, Lone Peak High School. So that's our provisional first place rider in JV A Boys D1.
And that was a killer time, too. Yeah, he came in at 56:39. That was amazing. Well done.
Yeah, so sub 1 hour for 2 laps there.
Yeah. There's a reason why he's wearing that white jersey. Yes, not far behind, throwing up double peace sign there. That was Brandon Naiseth. We're going to go with that. But no, he made excellent time too. And he came in super fast.
Yeah, still sub 1 hour for 2 laps here. We'll look for our provisional third place rider here shortly.
Yeah, so it looked like Nathan's first lap, he did 28.27 and then finishing at 56.39. I don't know about any of y'all, but I cannot run that fast. That's for sure.
Yeah, those folks are moving out there. They are putting down the power. They are putting down some pretty impressive times. Folks, a lot of good energy here at the finish line here. Please be mindful and give our riders a wide berth. Looks like we got a Bingham rider coming into view here. Potential third place rider here.
And we got some fans waiting at the finish line too for this rider. This is our unofficial third place rider. That would be Porter Gardner. Well done, Porter. He came in also just under an hour at 58.16.
And close on his heels from Lone Peak High School, we've got Clark Pugh, our provisional fourth place rider in JV A Boys D1. Pushing hard here again. Dean Alexander, Lone Peak rider, 5th place in JVA Boys D1. All right. Matthew Foote, Lone Peak High School.
Flashing the peace sign going across the finish line.
That is
Beautiful.
right.
And up out of the saddle, we have got Jason Owen. I about said Jackson, but that would be Jason Owen. I always get Jackson and Jason mixed up. But
Still sub 1 hour times as this 7th place rider just came across the finish line there. Still under an hour for 2 laps. This is Westlake rider Colin Draper, followed closely by Lone Peak rider Jacob Armette.
I'd just like to remind the man that is sticking his arm out in the finish line that is hazardous.
So Jacob Armette, that was our provisional, I think, 1st place rider for JVD1.
This is a leader jersey coming across. Who is this?
That's Easton Ducaret, D2.
Yeah, he would be 1st place coming across there. Our computer is just jumping all over the place. We'll give you some unofficial timing in just 1 second. We've got like 50 names popping up. We'll let you know.
I think that was Cooper Peterson, Lone Peak High School. So again, sub 1 hour for 2 laps for Easton Ducaret. And
So it looked like the 1st place. Did you already say this? Am I just repeating what you said, that he came in under an hour at 56? Really, that is outstanding. I'm impressed every time I go to one of these races.
please check the monitors on the east side of the timing trailer for results. Our results here that we call as announcers, they're totally unofficial. Check for the official results there on the back of the timing trailer.
Super unofficial. When we have like 50 names popping up at a time, we're just guessing. It's wild, wild guessing. I mean, we could just be making up names. So you really need to go check to, have solid results.
Absolutely. We've got great technology that it works most of the time.
Sometimes.
And that, of course, subject to human error, mostly on my part most of the time. So
You can't stop pushing the buttons.
Owen Johnson, Lone Peak High School. That's JVA D1. Mountain Ridge rider Mason Fonsbeck.
With a huge sigh of relief crossing that line.
That's right.
That right there, that was Jack Weston. And, man, for those who are closer to the finish line, it's almost like he gave an extra little nudge to get across that finish line. And that feeling it feels so good when you cross over that.
So we should have our JVB boys D1 having started just a few minutes ago, and we've got a 1:35 start time for our JVB boys D2. 1 minute to go for the start of that race.
Oh, it looks like we got a group coming up here. 4 right in a row.
So that's going to be Kyle Coates, Bingham High School, followed by Mountain Ridge rider Lucas Arby, Sawyer Barnett, Boyd Bradford, Logan Wrigley, Gavin Clausen, Alexander Cherney, Grayson Aston, George Grimmer, Lone Peak High School, and Westlake rider Jack Turskansky.
I think that was dead on. Well done. We got another Lone Peak rider coming up. This rider is Quentin Barney. Well done, Quentin. And I just want to let you know how impressed I am by Chris. You should have seen how fast those names were coming up on the board, and he was just able to get them all out. That was amazing.
We're doing our best here, folks.
That was Parker Blair coming across strong. I love that they just don't slow down. That's why you got to give them a good amount of space to stop.
Pushing it hard there. That's Aiden Frank, Harriman High School, followed by Timpanogos rider Braden Haddock. Okay. Daniel Lewis, Tipview High School. Pushing right to the end. That's Mountain Ridge rider Sam Madsen, Hayden Fonger, and Trace Jensen. So we just had the start of our JVB boys D2. They're just entering the course. If you look to the south of us there, you can see them coming by.
That was Caleb Snar that just came across, finishing up strong.
So we got 3 coming through. We've got Mountain Ridge, Jensen Payson. Sorry, folks. We got a number of riders coming through. We're also getting our starting riders from the other, from the start there, just coming through there. We'll try to get you an update on finishes here shortly. But in D2, so let's see. This is so JVA boys D2, first place, Easton Ducarat. Second place, Boyd Bradford. Third, Alex Cheney. Fourth place, Adrian Frank. And fifth place, Brighton Giroux.
Oh, we got a sprint to the end. This one's going to be so close. Oh, that was beautiful, though. I love those sprints. I love those sprints at the end there.
So that was Simon Springer, followed closely by Joey Barlow from Carbon High School. And we've got Orem rider Spencer Gale.
Victory pump right up in the air there. That was David Brinton coming through. Throwing up double peace signs with a sigh of relief at the end there. That was Maxwell Wright.
That's Timpanogos rider Martin Zanazzi. And Orem High School rider, that is Tate James.
So I just want to point out there that our first place rider for that D2 division had almost a whole 3-minute lead, which is super impressive. He was at 56 minutes, and then right after that, then it was 59 from Boy Bradford, and then Alex Cheney at 59. That was 59:18, and then 59:23.
Elijah Franson, Sawyer Valentine, Gabe Tupai, Ian Knoll, Nathan Anger.
But now then right after Easton came ripping through with a 3-minute lead, behind him the next 4 were all super duper close in time.
That's Harriman rider Hunter Pease, followed closely by his teammate Riley Williams. Looks like we got another Orem rider pushing it hard right to the finish line there. Great work. That's Gabriel Jones.
Oh, giving it his all right here at the end. Huge sigh of relief. It looks like that was Cannon Aldridge. It looks like he might have had some cramping going on when you have that look of pain on your face.
But with a name like Canyon, you got to be a mountain bike rider. This is Riverton High School rider Ethan Anger.
He did not look angry, though. He looked quite happy.
Not at all. He looked like he was having a good time.
Oh, the pink helmet. That was Landon Hunter. He's got a styling pink helmet. And what is that scientific fact?
3.1 faster. That's Carson Howard, Bingham High School, one of only 2 gold helmets on the course. I know who owns the other one. That was Henry Clark and Reagan Mason.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure there's straight up facts that pink helmets make you go faster.
Oh, several studies support the pink helmet theory. At least 7.8% faster.
Yeah, at least.
At least.
Yeah.
So we've got a little bit of time here, but as you look forward to our Wave 7 races, the first one is going to be our JV Girls A, be it staging at 2:05.
I love that. I love finishes like that. Just screaming on through the end. That was Skylar Anderson, followed closely by Bridger Nelson. And then Noah Subaki. I have a helper here. That was awesome. We need someone to tell us all the last names. So that right there, that was Jackson Bingham coming in, finishing up his race. But no, I love the enthusiasm when they just literally scream across the finish line, and it's like they just have all of that. They've just got to let out at the end, knowing that they are finished with that race.
Eli Norda, Bingham High School.
So earlier with that storm that came through, we just got dumped on, and the wind was cold and windy. And when you are soaking wet and the wind is blowing, your hands start to freeze, your legs start to cramp. And so now it's pretty beautiful temperatures, and we're gonna hope it lasts all day.
That's Mountain View rider Brendan Campbell. That's Timpanogos rider Timothy Fang. Nice work. Thanks again for all of the support here at the finish line. It's great to see so many family, friends, race fans here to support them. Please be mindful of our course. Please only cross the course at designated crossing areas, especially as they're coming into the finish line here. We want to give our riders the best opportunity to make a super strong finish here. And when they see you crossing the course there in front of them, it's going to give them some pause. Let's give them the best opportunity to get their personal best and to have a safe ride.
We got another rider that's coming in super strong. This just so happens to be Gable Stoddard.
Pushing hard right to the end. It's great to see that.
As long as they stop before they hit their coach, that's all that matters.
That's right. Again, to check official results, check the monitors on the east side of the trailer.
We just had a group come cruising through here. We had Trevor Fish, Cade Strong, Trace James, and Alexander Cutler all coming in really, really close together, followed not too far behind by Alistair Wilson.
What's up, Caleb? Good, it's going good. How are you, buddy?
One more rider coming in. That was Ashton Smith with an excellent ride. Man, this guy is cruising through. That was Tanner Roth, and not too far behind from Orem. That was Jack Nixon that just finished up a very strong race.
That is Tucker Grafendorf, West Granite Composite, standing on those pedals, pushing hard all the way in across the finish line there. It's great to see that enthusiasm.
With a huge smile.
Yep.
You gotta love that.
Makes it all worth it, doesn't it, folks? That's Copper Hills rider Joshua Williams. Spendthrifts, maybe. That's Cole Payne, Timpanogos High School. Got a festive atmosphere here at the finish line. We've got flags flying on the the rock feature here to our west. That's pretty exciting. That's fun to see that. Thanks for all of the support and the great vibe that you bring here to our finish line. Oh, we got riders shopping for spots here. The end looks like Provo rider pulling off the pass. That's Seth Robinson and Weston Taylor.
Man, and Seth was not going to let him pass, that's for sure. He gave out a big sigh of relief across that finish line. Just like to remind you, especially down there right past the blue gate there, please don't cross the trail, especially if you can see the riders. It is hazardous. But we have got two that are fighting for a spot so hard. Oh, and that was an excellent effort by both of them. That was Adam Butler, sorry about that, and Noah Suchkowski. All right, we're gonna go with that. If you'd like us to correct that, come and see me. But really, that was a good fight to the end. That's always fun to see.
Hand in the air. That's Ammon Kirkland, Harriman High School. Such a great vibe coming across the finish line there. Nice work, buddy.
We got a Lone Peak rider coming up right to the finish. Chris, tell me who that is.
That is Lucas Keller.
Ooh, followed closely by another rider. That was Dallin Armstrong, not too far behind.
So for our Wave 7 racers, that's going to be our JV girls, freshman girls, and single lap girls. Start thinking about heading towards the staging area here in the next couple of minutes. This right here is Bingham rider Trevor Ray coming across the finish line.
So with our JVA boys that finished not too long ago, we had Nathan Dutton that was in the JVA D1, and then also Easton Ducarant that was first place for the JVA D2 boys, and their times were so close together. Nathan's was 56.39 and Easton's was 56.0. Those are both of our first place leaders there in both of those divisions. And actually, it'd be quite fun to see those two race. We should petition for that. Do you think they'd do it? I think it'd be a bunch of fun to see those two race. But those are just incredible times, and like we've said before, it's always impressive to see these kids riding. I mean, I can't even speed walk as fast as they can.
This is Harriman rider John Clayton. We express our thanks to our race crew and volunteers that have made our race day go smoothly today. Thanks to those that have helped with parking so early in the morning, making sure that everybody finds a place to park. Those that have helped out in our pit zones to mark off the spaces for the teams to set up their tents and to do the things they need to do there. Thanks to our race crew medical staff that provides support in that way. Hopefully we don't need to use that too much, but it's certainly reassuring to have them on board there. Again, thanks to the leadership provided by race crew and making sure that they monitor the weather for health and safety concerns there and keeping us safe, and then for pivoting really quickly as we had bad weather and getting us back on track here as we continue our races. Pretty good way to finish up a race day here, folks.
Absolutely, I agree. To be able to have such an awesome race day, it also comes down to all those that are standing and watching and cheering everybody on, but also those that can sit and watch at home, cheer from a distance. And that is only done because we have an amazing live stream going on from Game On Live Studio. Sean is the one that is with Game On Live Studio, and he has such an impressive hat. I think it's his hat that picks up the signal and sends it all over the place. Pretty sure. It's pretty awesome. He has it hanging over on his tent there. But their website is www.gols.co. And then you can also follow him on Instagram. It's at GameOnLS. And you'll be able to see different little tidbits that were posted today about the race. And then you can also go back and watch the entire race if you'd like and see everybody coming across. You can see the storm that rolled through and cut off some of the varsity boys' ride. But really, overall, it's just exciting to go back and watch. And if you can see them coming across the finish line, that's always fun.
So Wave 7 riders, that's our JV Girls A. Make sure you start thinking about heading towards the staging area so that you're there at 2:05 for our freshman girls. 2:08 at the starting area, looking towards a 2:23 start time. Our JV Girls B, please be at staging at 2:11. Followed by a 2:26 start time, and our single lap girls, 2:14 at staging for a 2:29 projected start time. If you'd really like to help out with race crew on a more permanent basis, we've got a number of positions that are available now, and the Central Region is accepting applications. If you're interested in that, if that's something that you've got time for and like to participate in, please make your way over to the pavilion to the south of the finish line there and check with the volunteer booth. All right, this looks like one of our leaders here. This is Lincoln Tietment from Lone Peak High School. That's our provisional JVB Boys D1 first place finisher, followed closely by Bingham High School rider. That is David Spelino. He's currently second place there as both of those riders head out for their second of 2 laps there. So I went on a ride once with David Spelino about 6 or 7 years ago, and he took off. It took me close to an hour and a half to finally track him down. He had ridden out so far for me to actually catch him and tell him to come back. So he's got a lot of speed going on there. All right, we've got Lone Peak rider. That is Jet Wait. That's another great mountain bike name. That's Lone Peak High School. Currently in third place as he heads out for a second lap. We also have Alex Lawrence and James Tolman, Jackson Cannon. This is Ethan Jensen, Lone Peak High School. Again, these riders from JVB Boys D1 are headed out for their second of 2 laps there. They're going to have to manage their output there and really decide how much they're going to lay out there. Got Bingham rider, that's Kyle Davis, Colton Wixom, Owen Lynch, Jacob Bird, Rome Goodman. Westlake rider, Gavin 2. Followed by Lincoln Riding, Lone Peak, and Mountain Ridge rider, Jack Jager. This is Bingham rider Ethan Nelson, followed closely by Westlake's Whit Sewell. Marcus McCord and Andrew Atnip, Mountain Ridge High School. Luke Linton. Isaac Tierlink. That was Jackson Millerberg, Bingham High School. That's Lone Peak rider Parker Simmons. Mason Morford and Benjamin Shaw. Cayman Quinn. Porter Hannah. Nathan Aston. Gavin Porter, McKay Pierce. All in that last group there. Caden Morris, Bryce Taylor, Lana Butler, Brigham Rhodes, Benny Keller, Reese Westerlin. And that is Canran Atterbury, Bingham High School. So these are our JVB D1 boys headed out for their second lap. That's Dawson Ballard. All right, in this group, Jace Wagstaff, Nathan Murdoch, Sam Robinson, Colin Horder, Brock Gregory, Preston Darby. These guys are pushing hard, working hard. Gavin Smith, followed by Tyler Black. That is Gentry Schmaltz, followed by Ashton Barrett. That's Bingham High School, Ethan Moore. Followed by our Mountain Ridge rider, Connor Mullally and Logan Gailey, Westlake High School. Hayden Lloyd, Bingham High School. Followed by Westlake rider, Bentley Stay. A couple of Bingham riders coming into the picture here. That would be Brecken Peck and Noah Johnson. All right, we got war paint on here with Jonas Canals, Riverton High School. Followed by Kate Hall, Bingham High School, and Mountain Ridge rider, Carter Stanley. Again, these are our JVB boys, D1. Olin Wilcox, Rue West, Coleman Shoup, Jonas Blakenstein, Nolan Suman, Ryan Winsome, Lars Larson, Nathan Birmingham, Cohen Pexon, Jackson Yen, Wesley Hatch, Tyson Fritchie, excuse me, Chandler Skadden, Micah Rhodes, Braxton Johnson. Sam Madsen, Griffin Gagan, Seth Peterson, Miles Peterson. Mountain Ridge rider, Evan Houghton. That's Jameson Halverson. Jacob Bills, Mountain Ridge. Carbon High School, Russell Seeley, Tanner Gokeritz, Spencer Tollis, Camden Cantrell, Jaden Waters, Cedar Valley. Westlake rider, that is Tate DeWitt, followed by Orem High School's McKay Nilsson and Timpanogos High School Race Helm. West Granite, Kaysen Holt, got the full unzip on the bibs there, folks. Nice work, keeping cool. Jay Barlow, Riverton High School, Timpanogos High School, Luke Pierce. And Copper Hills, Alex Marshall, Carbon High School, Dylan Emerson. Timpanogos Brady Rencher, Tyler Kemp, Connor Owens, Miles White, Benjamin Wooten, Tanner Fritchie. Big group of riders here. Joshua Ricks, Caden Bradle, Luke Smith, a whole bunch of others. Spencer Hyde, Zachary Bingham, Ray Stewart, Isaac Moore, and who did you say? Trey Stewart also in the mix there, folks. Got that. Bridger Nelson, Harriman High School. Jack Levitt. Garrett Bolton. Judson Spears. Tech Brown, Eric Buccio, Zach Sorensen, Caden. Dylan McCord, Jensen Ray, Kyle Peabody, Sam Richards, Tyler Dunbabin. That's Provo rider Cade Jessup. That is Jackson Sturridge, Sean Stromness. This is Provo High School's Edison Hodges. Noah Helm, Mason Huber, Matthew Taylor, Joseph Davis, Parker Stroll. William Stansfield, Sam Madrid, Owen Blake.
We've got Trevin Blackham, Grant Ashby, Wilson Haddock, and Samuel Gonzalez crossing the finish line. We've got a runner coming, but first we've got Andrew Ockley that comes through, but we've got a runner. It stinks when your bike gives up before you do, but man, running it all the way to the end was Carter Quinn.
Nice work, Carter.
Oh, man.
Pushing it right to the end.
That is rough. That is so rough when your bike quits working on you. But he just ran it through. He's exhausted. But I love that endurance and just that determination across the finish line, even if you have to run your bike through.
So our JV Girls A should be making their way to the staging area right now, please.
But we've got Grant Jensen coming across from Timpview High School.
And then shortly after that, our freshman girls, they also need to be at staging right now, please.
That right there was Carter Smith from Mountain View High School. From Harriman, we have got Andrew Berger. Followed closely behind him, Matthew Gee and Mitchell Heath, both very close behind.
Also, our JV Girls B, 211 at starting, and single leg girls, 214.
From Cedar Valley, that was Ian Whittler. From Lone Peak, that was Zane Greenberg going out for his second lap there.
Jackson Wood, Ethan Gullett, Caleb Scholl.
All of them heading out for the second lap. Now on this, when they have that 2-lap, right, they've got 15 miles to go. That is it's a very long route to go. But we've got 2 more coming through.
Blue Taylor, Caleb Jones.
And it looked like Blue Taylor was not going to let Caleb pass him by. It looked like Caleb was trying, and Taylor just picked it right back up again. I mean, Blue just picked it up right back up again.
That's right. That's Orem High School's very own Jacob Sorensen. Perry Everett, and Carbon High School's Max McCourt.
That was Jonathan Ashton from Orem High School out for his second lap. He's keeping a really nice steady pace. We're going to see how he does coming back around.
JV, yeah. We haven't. That's 2:20. We're still about, we're 10 minutes away. Perfect. Looking forward to the start of our next wave. That's wave 7, and at 2:20, that's going to be our JV Girls A. Again, 2:20 race start there, folks.
We got another rider that's coming up here.
Thanks so much for the great vibe that you bring here to the finish line. Please be mindful of our riders as they come through. Give them plenty of room.
That right there was Porter Cottom. Ready to go out for a second lap. This is one of our amazing volunteers. Give it up for the course marshal. Well done.
Nice work.
You know, we can't hold these events without all of our amazing volunteers, and one of them is our course marshal. And then we also have sweeps that come riding through too. But we need volunteers all over the place. So if you ever wanted to come out and volunteer, please do sign up. Help us out. That is what keeps these events going. So for the JVB, is this all right, so the JVB D1, so far we have got Lincoln Tillman in first place, David Spelino second, Jet Waite in third, and Jackson Cannon fourth, and James Tolnan. That's our 5 right now after the first lap. But anything can change. They're all really, really close in times, and so any of that can change out there on the course. They're really, really close. So it'll be exciting to see how that gets mixed up out there on the course.
So the wind is definitely going to be a factor out there for our riders as that picks up. I'm hearing from race crew that we do have some weather again out to the southeast there. No lightning in the forecast, thankfully. Perhaps a little bit of rain as it moves towards us here, so please be prepared for that. But keep your fingers and toes crossed. We appreciate the good vibes that have kept our good weather going so that we can finish out our races here, folks.
So 2 super important factors to remember out there on the course for these riders is hydration, because even though it may be cool, they still have got to stay fully hydrated. And also, they need to stay up with all their nutrition so they have the energy to finish the race. And we actually have some pretty awesome sorry about that. We also have some pretty awesome sponsors that also help with the nutrition. But for those of you who didn't know, Chris, who's in here with the booth with me, he actually was like a lip model for First Endurance. So if you ever see a picture with a smile and lips, that's this guy. You can come get an autograph from him. We got a racer coming through on his back tire the whole way. I'm not even going to turn him in. And a rock-on symbol. That, my friends, was Win Fossey. He has got it finished with style. Well done. But going back to our little fabulous lip model in here for First Endurance, First Endurance offers innovative nutrition that meets the unparalleled demands and requirements of serious endurance athletes, so they can train harder than ever before without compromise. With First Endurance, you don't need anything else. We designed the line to work as a system, so there's no more guesswork. The result, breakthrough nutrition that's second to none. And Chris can testify to that. He had to eat many, many bars through all of his photo shoots. So he knows. If you have any questions, you can come ask him.
All right, we got Ryder pushing hard here to the end. Let's see who we've got. Oh, this is our sweep. Nice work, sweep.
Well done, Sweep. So he's going out for his second lap, or actually might have been lap 35. They're out there for a while. You never know how many times our marshals and sweeps have gone around. But without it, that is how we know how many riders are left out on our course, and so our sweeps are vital to these races.
So we're just a couple of minutes away from the start of our JV Girls A race. So about 2 minutes to go before we start there with our JV Girls A. They're going to be followed really closely at 2:23 with our freshman girls.
We got 1 more minute before our JVA girls go out on the course. But in the meantime, we have got a leader coming across here. That right there is Lincoln T-Met. Serious? What on earth? What on earth? This second lap was faster than the first. And can I tell you, he came in at 49.19. That is incredible.
Sub 50 minutes for 2 laps there, folks. That is quick.
That's outstanding. There's a reason why he's wearing that leader jersey over there.
So that's Bingham High School rider Bryson Decker.
He came in with an incredible time, too, of 49.55.
That's David Spelino, Bingham High School. That's our provisional second place there for JVB Boys D1.
50.16. That was awesome, David. Well done. We had Owen Lynch come through, Jackson Cannon, Jeff Waite crossing over there.
DNR guy from the looks of it coming up on your right.
That right there was Ethan Jensen. That was Alex Lawrence finishing it off right there. James Tolman coming through strong.
You look great.
Hope you don't get hungry.
Can you repeat who is coming up to at the date line or the starting line to see me?
We're at 1 minute to go, 1 minute to go. I don't necessarily know if
So in a minute here, we'll be able to tell you the unofficial top 5.
I gotcha, thank you.
The unofficial top 5 boys that came across there.
So we're 30 seconds out, I believe, from our JV Girls B. From the start of that race. Followed really closely by our single lap girls starting at 2:29. Finishing strong, Bingham High School, Kyler Davis.
There's an extra little ump there at the end of his head.
Definitely.
Breaking on through.
And this is Lone Peak Rider pushing super hard right to the end. That's Lincoln Riding. Coulter Wixom, Gavin 2, and Jacob Bird, excuse me.
All right, close together there. That was a close finish. So just real quick, our unofficial top 5 for the JVBD1, it's Lincoln Tennant? Real quick, I'm going to tell you who's coming across our finish line first from Bingham. Ethan Nelson. Oh, followed closely behind by Rome Goodman. So real quick, unofficial top 5. We got the Lincoln Tina, David Spelino, Owen Lynch, Jackson Cannon, and Jeff Waite. We just had 2 come through. Andrew Atnip was the one that just came on through, followed by. You know, we're going to do our best to tell you all these riders coming through. Right now on our computer, we have all the girls that are going off the start line, which you can see coming around the bend if you look more to the southish. I don't know, what would be that be? Southwestish.
So we got riders pushing hard right to the end here, folks. That's going to be Jackson Millerberg, Bingham High School. Nice work.
have got a rider coming in strong. Right there, that is Luke Linton.
Lone Peak rider, Brigham Rhodes. Westlake rider, Benjamin Shaw, and Parker Simmons from Lone Peak High School.
That right there was Broder Hannah coming through. Oh, a race sprint to the finish. That was Bryce Taylor and Nathan Aston.
Cayman Quinn coming across the finish line from Lone Peak High School.
With
Huge sigh of relief.
Massive sigh of relief. That had to be a nice feeling right there.
Daddy, look good. Pushing hard to the end here. That's Bingham High School rider Gavin Porter. Lone Peak High School's very own Benny Keller. Reese Cameron Attenbury, Caden Morris.
You know, sorry if we missed somebody's name. We'd love to recognize every single one of these, but we have got lots of names.
Lars Larson, Mason Morford, Jonas Canals.
Wait, these are Larson, was it? He was our leader coming through there with D2, our JBB D2. And then Jonas Canals was our unofficial second place for JVB D2.
Also Jake Swagstaff in the mix there as well.
All real close together. Oh, snuck
Ashton
around the
Bennett,
side.
Landon Butler, Dawson Ballard. Ryan Woodsmore, Sam Robinson.
We have a runner, one with victory, but a runner coming across also, McKay Pierce.
Noble Suman and McKay Pierce.
One of those.
That's
where your
dedication,
bride
pushing
gives
that bike right to the end, followed by Lone Peak rider. That's Gavin Smith. Nice work, making it lighthearted at the end.
style.
Ryan West, Carbon High School.
So Ryu West, it looks like unofficially is holding the 5th place. Third. Unofficially holding 3rd. Nope, 5th, sorry. We are all.
That is Riverton rider
here.
Coleman Shoup, followed by Tyler Black and Braden Eckenbrack, James Duncan. And we just had the start of our single lap girls. You can see those coming across the intersection there just to the south of our first aid tent.
That was one of our leader jerseys crossing over there. That was Jackson Yen, Micah Rose, Gentry Smalls, Ethan Moore. All coming in real close together.
Connor Malawi, Matthew Lemon, Seth Peterson, Barrett Geisler. And our single lap girls are making their way out onto the course. They're coming up the hill there and headed towards that first ticky section. And across the finish line right now, we've got Cedar Valley rider Evan Houghton, Carbon Spencer Tolis, and Sam Madsen.
Spencer finishing with stream across the finish line. That
Hayden
there-
Lloyd.
Yeah, it was Hayden Lloyd. Well done. So unofficially right now, our JVB D2 top 5 would be Lars Larson, Jonas Canals, Ryan Wismore, Noble Suman, and Ryu West. All of those times were incredibly close. Lars Larson came in at 52.35, at the most 53.50 in fifth. That was incredible times.
That is Noah Johnson, followed closely by Copper Hills rider Tanner Gokeritz. This is Carbon Riders, Russell Seeley. Thanks for the great support here at the finish line, folks. So great to hear all of the cheers, the cowbells. Please give our riders lots of room so they can come in as fast as they need to. Standing up there, we got a full unzip there from West Granite Composite. That's Kason Holt, followed by Cade Hall, Bentley Stay, and Logan Gailey, Westlake High School. That's McKay Nelson, Orem High School, shopping at the end here for spots. That's Jamison Halverson and Race Helm. Jaden Waters, Cedar Valley.
Oh,
Riverton and Carbon battling it out here. Dylan Emerson and Comer Gwillem.
with the-
Nice work. Luke Pierce, Timpanogos High
With
School.
a mighty fist pump there at the end.
Folks, we've got large crowds gathered here at the finish line. Please make sure we give our riders a wide berth. Only cross at designated crossing areas. Please follow all the directions of our crossing volunteers. Riverton High School, Nippon Timpanogos right at the end there. That's Jay Barlow and Brady Rancher.
We have got a Bingham rider coming in so strong, followed by two more real quick, and it's a
Brecken
sprint
Peck.
to finish.
Followed by Copper Hills rider Alex Marshall and Zachary Bingham, Riverton High School. West Granite Composite, that's Tyler Kemp, Owen Wilcox. Luke Smith, Jordan High School. Benjamin Wooten Harriman. And Mountain Ridge rider Carter Stanley. That's going to be a Jordan Trey Stewart. Mountain Ridge rider pushing hard. That's Chandler Scadlin.
Oh,
Scandon.
it's a sprint to the end there.
Oh, sprint finish. Caden Bartle. Whole bunch of folks here. Wesley Hatch, Jacob Bills, Eric Brucio, Tyson Fritchie, Griffin Gangan, Miles White, and a Mountain Ridge rider, Miles Peterson. Oh, West Granite holding on there. Ben Whitaker, Richard Nelson, Jack Pedersen, Spencer Height, and Harriman raising the fist. Here we go. Garrett Bolton, Jensen Payne, Caden Jessup, Jack Levitt, Tig Brown.
I love watching those big groups come in, and then you get one of those riders that just sneaks right around the side and finishes strong. Oh,
Got to
so
pedal
much
right to the
fun.
finish line so you don't get nipped.
Yeah, you never know who's behind you. That right there was Nathan Birmingham, followed closely by Christian Barlow, Zach Sorensen, and Judson Spears. Not too far behind was Joshua Ricks with Timpanogos High School, and a Bingham rider who happens to be Braxton Johnson. We've got an Orem rider coming in.
Bunny hop over the finish line, Sam Richards.
That was a bunny hop. That was the excitement coursing through his veins. Finish line, I love it.
Too bad we don't have style points.
I know there's some mighty finishes, and I don't know, maybe we should have like little treats for those who end in style.
That's right.
Throw them a treat, like a goo, chuck it at them. Oh man, I hope the sunshine stays out because I don't know about the rest of y'all, but it's cold. But would feel nice riding. If we just didn't have this wind, it is hard riding into the wind. Sometimes when you're riding, even if it's a light breeze, it feels like it is just pushing you back so hard. Here comes another rider. Chris, tell me who this rider is.
This rider is Provo rider Edison Hodges.
Oh, and we've got two. There's one. They're trying to sneak up on the side here, right behind him. Oh, we got one that went down, and his teammate stops for him.
That's
this
excellent.
is one thing I love. His teammate is worried, and he is stopping and picking him up. You guys, this is camaraderie right here.
Caden Graham.
You guys, this is awesome. His teammate was so close to the finish, and he saw his other teammate go down. He stops. He turns around, doesn't cross the finish line, turns around, helps him up, and lets his teammate cross the finish line first.
Nice
Kyle
work,
Peabody.
boys. That's Kyle Peabody. Let's see. Mason Huber, Kyle Peabody, Isaac Moore. Looks like we got West Granite composite rider finishing strong. Big sigh of relief there. That's Parker Scholl. Copper Hills, Trevin Blackham, Jordan High Schools, Andrew Orkey, Noah Helm, Mountain View High School. Looks like we got a Cedar Valley and a West Granite composite here, finishing strong, maybe shopping for spots. Nope, not going to happen. We've got Cedar Valley, William Stansfield, Joseph Davis.
So, Kyle, real quick.
This is Provo High School's very own Owen Blake, Timpview High School.
I wanted to come
Grant
out.
Ashby in the mix there.
I wanted
And
to come
then
out here and
Camden
talk-
Cantrell, Bingham High School.
I want to come out and talk to Kyle here. Kyle, he turned around. He saw his teammate go down. And not only did he not cross the finish line, he turned around and helped him. What was going through your mind right there?
I had been pushing him the whole second lap, and I believe that friends, especially teammates, should stick together. So when I saw him go down, I just wanted him to finish because I had been pushing him the whole way.
That's amazing. I love that. I love that with teams as they push each other together. And, I mean, you guys all get pretty close together, don't you?
Yeah, we're all really good friends.
That is awesome. And that's what this is about, everybody. And so, Kyle, I want to give you a high five. That was awesome. And we loved watching that. Well done.
We got Carbon High School rider finishing strong. That's Sam Madrid. He's one of that Carbon High School crew that spent so much time getting that fabulous race course down there in Price in such great shape for our race a couple of weeks ago. That was really enjoyable. We had a great time. Nice work, Carbon High School. So, folks, we've got out on course right here our JV girls. They're making their way through the course right now. But right now we've got, Cedar Valley. That's Ian Whitaker and just nipping Tyler Dunbabin from Lone Peak right at the finish line there. You got to pedal right to that finish line.
This rider is pushing hard. He is going to make it to the end.
That is Tate DeWitt, Westlake High School. But yeah, our JV young ladies are out on course right now, making their way through that fun and techie course there. We're going to look forward to seeing them come through for their for their second lap there.
That little jump, that was done by Grant Jensen. Happy little jump coming to the end. Thank you, course marshal. That was Tanner Fritchie that just came through with Mountain Ridge High School.
Oh, we got Wes Granite shopping for a spot right there. That's Caleb Scholl, Matthew Gee, Mitchell Heath. Also Andrew Berger in the mix there. Mountain Ridge, Ethan Gullett, Jackson Shortridge, Bingham High School.
So I just like to point out there, I don't know if you guys noticed with those three teammates that two of them were on each side of another teammate helping them through, and wow. It was actually pretty impressive to see, and I have to say that I got to give a hand to that coach, because that also was the teammate that stopped to pick up his other teammate, and then you see these other three come through, and they are all just encouraging one another. To have this team camaraderie is beautiful. That right there was Perry Everett crossing that line in a very beautiful way also.
Got quite the crowd here at finish line. That's excellent. I know you guys have some cowbells, so how about like they say on Saturday Night Live, more cowbell, folks. That is Blue Taylor, Timpview High School. With the war paint on, and that's Riverton High School's very own Caleb Jones. Wind continuing to be a factor here, folks, but we'll take the wind over the rain any day so we can keep this race going. Need to keep in mind, though, that that's going to be a pretty stiff headwind as they head back to the south here for the finish line. So we've got a little bit of time here, folks, before our wave 8 of racers, but that's going to be our JVC boys as well as some of our freshman boys. We're looking at around 3:20 for our JVC boys C1, being at the staging area, 3:25 for our JVC boys D2. We got Lone Peak and Orem. That's Samuel Gonzalez and Jacob Sorensen.
We got another rider coming in really strong here, giving it everything he's got. That right there was Jonathan Ashton. Well done, Jonathan.
These groups have 80 and 90 riders in them. This is a big group of riders out there. That's Porter Cottom, Jordan High School.
Here comes an Orem rider, finishing it off strong with no hands. That would be Jackson Wood.
Nice work, Sweep. Thanks for your help.
That would be Marshall.
Marshals,
Fourth
pardon
Marshall,
me.
Well done.
Marshall, Sweeps, I'm getting them mixed up.
All right, here comes former riders over the hill. Looks like 5. Well, wait a minute. That right there was Rebecca Franson. And then Max McCourt came coming through. Zane Greenberg. Julia Colton. Well, and then one of our sweeps. Thank you. And Aspen Hymas.
So those are going to be the first of our JVA girls there. We'll get you a recap here in just a minute for our top 3 there. Aspen Hymas from Harriman High School. Lap time there about 27 minutes. These ladies are moving.
That's incredible. We're going to get you the top 3 their times. Oh, here comes 2 more. Katie Anderson and Abigail Franson.
We've also got our points leader there, jersey holder Anna Briggs, Mountain Ridge High School.
That was Bryn Lawrence, followed closely by Margaret Powell. That right there was Hannah Murdoch with Remy Smith, close at her heels. Yeah, here comes a rider. She's pedaling so hard coming across this to go around to her second lap. I was going to say to the finish, but she has got another lap to go.
She does. She's got the war paint on. That is Tristan Lee, Riverton High School.
We got a Lone Peak rider coming through. That was Cassidy Barton that came through. So real quick, I wanted to tell you, holding the positions currently on that first lap, we had Rebecca Franson at 26.59. But right now, that was Quinn Hopkinson. Wow, that was a tongue twister that just came through. But after the first lap, our top 5 currently would be Rebecca Franson, Julia Colton, Aspen Hymas, Anna Briggs, and Cassidy Barton. Rebecca came in at 26.59, which is just outstanding. But all of them were super duper close. Second, Julia was 27.08. Aspen, 27.10. Anna, 27.39. And Cassidy, 27.44. That's incredible.
That's Timpanogos rider Anna Lou.
That right there was Haley Short, followed closely by Jocelyn Pepper and Kate Nelson. Sorry about that, Kate Nelson. They are all really close together.
Another big group of riders here, bunched up. Got a Bingham rider in the lead. That would be Brooklyn-born Addie Hudson, Paige Gillespie, Sarah Wong, and Autumn Anderson, Cedar Valley High School.
Another Lone Peak rider coming in. That my friends, is Indy Watts.
That is Natalie Bushel, Bingham High School, followed closely by Lindy Jesperson, Carbon High School. Timpview High School, Kate Gillespie. Bingham High School rider, Caitlin Barton. Alexis Ingram, Bingham High School, followed by Mountain Ridge rider, Hannah Leslie, Harriman High School, Abigail Harker.
Taking a big drink, staying hydrated. That was Brinley Snar. It's actually real important that these kids stay hydrated, and as they come around to go to a second lap, they may stop, and grab some water from their feed station. Mainly dump it over them if it's too hot, but actually pretty chilly today. It's perfect temperatures.
That's Rachel Mott, Lone Peak High School.
We have got a rider walking their bike. It is so hard when your bike gives up before you do. But I love that they will still stand back up and walk it right across the finish line. I want you guys to cheer this rider in.
Cheer this rider on as they push their bike across the finish line. We've got Mountain Ridge rider. That is Megan Anderson. And our bike walker here, that's Owen Kimball, Lone Peak High School. Nice work, Owen. That's Taylor Underhill, Harriman High School. She's got all kinds of messages written on her there.
Yeah, I'm sure all love letters, too.
That's Amanda Bullock, followed by Maggie Boyack. Amanda, say hi to your dad as you go by there. Hey, you didn't wave. Your dad was right there, Amanda.
Looks like we also had
MJ Darton, Sage Christensen, Molly Fonsbeck, Emmeline Bohmquist.
We also had Bryson Decker sneak in there with Maddie Smith and MJ Darton.
That's Izzy Seeley, Bingham High School, Miriam Lloyd, Lone Peak. Followed close on her heels, that's Addie Millett, Bingham High School, Copper Hills rider, head out for her second of 2 laps there. She's got the war paint on as well. Ashley Brixey, the war paint looks pretty popular today, folks. Ella Franken, Isabella Scoville, Lone Peak High School.
There you go. Oh, we have got someone bringing it in, bumping their fists in the air, and that would be Sarah Crump going on through.
Lots of spirit here at the finish line, cheering our riders on. Nice work.
We got some more riders coming on in. This right here, my friends, that would be Haley Miner, followed closely by Kennedy Nelson and also Sydney Johnson.
So if you're in that wave 8 of riders, that's the JVC boys D1 and D2 and boys single lap riders. Start thinking about when you're going to get to staging there. You're supposed to be there at 2:20, I believe, for 2:35 start time. That was Ruth Olson, Carbon High School, followed closely by Annika Acevedo, Bingham High School.
We also had Leah sneak in there, Leah Tierlink.
Carter Smith, Mountain View High School. That is Lone Peak rider McKinley Brown and Caitlin Bonnet, Provo High School.
That right there was Katie Rands that just went on through.
Looks like we got another leader here. That's Kaylee Frederick, Riverton High School, Lucy Franson. Timpanogos rider, or Timpview rider, excuse me, Olivia Henninger, Jordan Hamilton, also from Timpview. Riverton High School, Addison Halverson. Just a reminder, folks, so great to have so many people here to cheer on our riders here at the finish line. Make sure you're mindful of our course outline there. Please only cross the course at designated crossing areas. Follow the instructions of our volunteers that are there to help keep our riders safe and to give them the best opportunity to have their best race experience possible today. Looks like we got another Lone Peak rider headed towards the finish line. That is going to be Zoe Fruit, Lone Peak High School. Harriman rider, Jenica Olson. Another Lone Peak rider. That is Savannah Taylor. We got a trio of Lone Peak riders. That's Sarah Swenson, followed by Avery Alder and her teammate, Sarah Fromm. With the war paint on, that's Bingham rider Reagan Davis, Copper Hills, Maya French, and Ivory Slater from Sleater Ridge, Mountain Ridge High School. Again, if you're in that Wave 8 of JVC Boys D1, D2, as well as our single lap boys, start thinking about getting to staging there in about 20 minutes there. That's when they need you at staging. It's 3 o'clock right now. That's Riverton rider Ellie Harvey, followed by Sophia Apking. And we also had Sophia Array in the mix there. Sarah Cherney. That's Mountain Ridge rider Cedar Curtis. West Granite Composite with the war paint on. Annie Haymond, excuse me. Bailey Atherley, Copper Hills, and Mountain Ridge rider Asia Mercer. Cedar Valley rider Summer Anderson. That is Copper Hills rider Abby French. Hannah Huntington, Riverton High School. That is Paige Crockett, Riverton High School. Also, Provo's Elena War, Kaya Siemens, Aspen Moody, and McKinley Sadler. That is Elise Farmer, Harriman High School. Thanks again to our volunteers, our race crew that are making things run smoothly here. We've got Orem High School rider That's Bet Harrison. Mountain View, Berkeley Smith, followed by West Granite Composite, Leela Ashby, Mountain Ridge, Madison Shipley, and Tess Peterson, Harriman High School. That is Asher Amos, Timpanogos High School. These are our freshman ladies. Some of these are just their third race ever. This is Adrian Case, followed by Autumn Landerfeld and Emily Priest, Harriman High School. Westlake Rider, Reese Grunruder. No worries. Madison Muller, Mountain Ridge High School. Yeah, I'm not too worried. We just try to give a recap if we can at some point, but it is what it is. No. That's Bingham High School, right? Alicia Peterson, Ava Roberts, Marcy Miller. Ava Roberts, who just came across the finish line. I used to coach a BMX race team. Ava was one of my riders. We used to call her Ava the Avalanche. These BMX ladies, they bring lots of great bike skills to the table here, especially in that first techie section. They're going to use all of those bike skills to make their way through some of those obstacles. This is Cedar Valley's very own Scarlett Koch. That's Lizette Barton, Bingham High School, followed closely with the war paint on. That's Copper Hill's Alyssa Jaffa and Bingham High School's Hannah Landsman. Cedar Valley, Sierra Minor.
I think Chris is getting a little tired.
Or tiring.
Well, that name was quite simple. But that right there was Haven Satori. Did you catch that, Chris? Said that in one go.
Yes, as we approach like the 3 o'clock hour, my ability to read goes downhill precipitously,
That was Kylie Bowles that just went on through, bowling on through here.
Emma Franken, Bella Resnick, Ava Bream, Callie Anderson. Hands in the air there. That's
Ani Brailsford. Sometimes as an announcer I get distracted and then I walk away from the other announcer and they tend up having to talk a lot and then they forget how to read. So maybe if I did my job, it wouldn't be so rough.
Do we need to recap on those?
All right. I'm going to give you a quick little recap here because our awesome volunteers helping us out.
Jocelyn Froese.
So with the JVB girls, so far after lap 1, we have got Kylie Frederick. But real quick, that was Emery Peace that came on through there. Just wanted to shout out to Emery. And also, Madeline Salmon. Well done. That right there, my friends, is Haley Derzani, Kira Kim, and Megan Allen. We got some screams coming on through. There's some big fans for this rider. That right there is Evelyn Jacobson. I love the enthusiastic cheering going on. All right, so now this time real quick. For JVB girls so far on the first lap, we've got Kylie Fredrickson, Jenica Olson, Savannah Taylor, Sarah Swenson, and Avery Alder. They have incredible times coming across for that first lap. It's going to be exciting to see how that might get mixed up out there on the course for the second lap.
That's Mountain Ridge rider Lonnie Muir, followed by...
That was Melanie Muir by Ashlyn Height.
The ability to read sometimes fails me as we get closer to the end. Holy cow.
That right there was Gemma Valentine and Eden Cobia. Carly Hodder right close behind.
And Sydney Nelson, Riverton High School.
So real quick for our freshman girls after lap 1, we've got Jocelyn Pepper, Paige Gillespie, Sarah Wong, Indy Watts, and Kate Gillespie. And all of their times were incredible on that first lap, starting with Jocelyn at 27.34, all the way to Kate Gillespie at 28.43. That right there, that was Macy Davies, is also making some incredible time. Well done, Macy.
Orem High School, Catherine Patton, followed by Madison Goulet and Emily Dow, Mountain Ridge.
There you are. Okay, I was wondering where you were.
Got some cheers coming through for this rider. That is Kaya Ramos. Alyssa Jones, followed closely by Grace Andrews. Oh, right there, my friends. I think I might have missed our first two and not being as excited cheering them through with Alyssa Jones and Grace Andrews, but let me get a clarification on that for sure.
That's Paige Bloomer, Timpanogos High School. We got some great cowbell going for Provo rider Sasha Morningstar.
All right, real quick, I just want to give a shout out to Kaya Ramos and then also Grace Andrews. That was our first and second place, unofficially first and second place of our single lap riders. We were caught so off guard because they were booking it. We were trying to figure out which group they were in, but well done, girls.
Nice to have the sunshine return for the latter half of the day. Gonna warm my back of my legs here for 2 seconds. It's nice to have so many folks here at the finish line. I hear lots of cowbell out there. How about just like they say on Saturday Night Live, more cowbell, folks. There we go.
So since we have all of you, as a captive audience here, our speakers are so loud. I just want to give a shout out to our race crew. Our race crew works incredibly hard to come out and set up this event. And we would greatly, greatly appreciate anyone who would be willing to stay behind and help take down. We're not able to do podium until we have everything broken down. And so anybody that could stay and help us break down, that would be massively appreciated, because the faster it goes, the sooner we all get to go to the podium. We can hug it out. We can cry some tears, take some pictures. It would be beautiful.
That's Mountain Ridge rider Taylor McCurdy. That's our single lap rider, unofficial third place.
That was like a hallelujah pose coming through that finish line. I love it.
Lots of good energy with these ladies as they come across the finish line. Nice work.
Telling you, I love the Grit Girls. They're fantastic.
Definitely. Thanks so much, parents, race fans, friends, family. So nice to have you here at the finish line to cheer your riders on. We love that. All right, as we look to Wave 8, our next group of riders, that's going to be our JVC boys D1 and D2, as well as our boys single lap riders. So as we approach a quarter after 3, make sure that JVC boys D1 be at staging at 2:20, JVC boys D2 at 3:25, and our single lap boys at 3:30 for staging.
What I'd like to hear at this moment is I want to hear cheers from everyone who's going to stay behind and help us break down. Oh, yes.
Yeah, there we go.
That came from one of their crew. Here comes a rider with a victory and a big yes through that finish line. That was Rebecca Franson. That was awesome. That would be our first place for JVA girls.
Followed closely by Julia Colton and Lauren Palmer. Harriman High School, Aspen Hymas, Maya Jensen. That rounds out our top 5 for our, for our single lap girls. But prior to that, we also had some of our
some of our
JVB.
But I love that victory and a big yes coming across that finish line, knowing she was coming into first place. That was beautiful.
That was pretty exciting.
We got a group coming in here, and they are all just riding as fast as they can. Woo, with a big sigh of relief.
Abigail Franson, Anna Briggs, Katie Anderson.
I love watching the reactions at the finish line. It's the best. You get anything from pure joy to relief to sometimes some tears and sorrow, but they are just giving it everything they have. And this course it's a pretty tricky course out there, but they are riding hard, just like this young lady. That would be Bryn Lawrence coming through strong.
So in our JVA girls D1, these are our unofficial top 5. Rebecca Franson first, Julia Colton, Aspen Hymas, Abigail Franson, and Anna Briggs. Nice work, ladies.
This young lady's being screamed through the finish line. That would be Margaret Powell. I love the fan club out there just screaming her through.
She's Margaret's number 8, our unofficial 8th place finish in JVA girls. We're battling. People are shopping here. Looks like Westlake is going to hold off Riverton right at the end there.
That was Remy Smith and Tristan Lee, and that was some major pushing there at the end. You know, as all of these riders are coming through, you know, they get points for every place that they can take up one, and all those points lead to them going to state for their team. So it's pretty fun to see them as they are just pushing hard to the end to get those points for their team.
Hannah Murdoch, Lone Peak High School, with just a look of was that joy? Was that exhaustion?
Joy and pain, exhaustion, excitement. I think that was all balled up in one.
Lots of good help from coaches and supporters there at the finish line. Nice work. Some of these riders, they leave it all out on the track there.
As it should be. You know, one thing that's not left out on the track are the beautiful pictures that are taken by Angie from Selective Vision. She's our professional photographer. She's out there taking pictures. You can see those pictures on our website under the race tab. There's a young lady coming through, though.
That is Emmy Wilson, Bingham High School.
That right there was Quinn Hopkinson with a huge sigh of relief, and our leader jersey coming through.
That's Joycelyn Pepper. That's our unofficial first place for freshman girls, followed by Cassidy Barton and JVA girls.
So Jocelyn Pepper looks like is our unofficial first place. That is exciting.
This is Gemma Valentine, Provo High School.
That right there was Nora Ransom and Sarah Wong both coming through. Sarah Wong, it looks like, is our unofficial second place for the freshman girls currently. Well done. Okay, can I just say, I love watching these coaches right at the end of the race here, because you see, and, you know, I'm sure it's not a biased thing, but you see these boys come in, and they're just like, well done, pat on the back, kick them right out. These girls come in, they come up and they hug them. They, like, really give them some good care and attention, which I love. And it's pretty fun to see. And usually a lot of the coaches are mothers from the team. And I think that's where that comes in also, from the hugs and the cheers.
Anna Lou, Timpanogos High School. Cedar Valley, Tabitha Gerber and Paige Gillespie, Timpview High School.
It looks like Paige Gillespie there is our unofficial third place for freshman girls right there. Well done, Paige.
JVC Boys D1, make sure you're at staging, followed closely by our JVC Boys D2 at 3:25, begin staging, and then our boys single lap, make sure that you're at staging at 3:30. We're about 15 minutes away from the start of those Wave 8 races. All right, so for our single lap girls, we've got our top 5 rounded out here unofficially. In first place, that's Kaya Ramos, followed by Grace Andrews, Taylor McCurdy, Lauren Palmer, and Maya Jensen.
But that right there, that was Indy Watts. That was our, wait, it looks like we already had Indy come through. We're a little lag time here. Give us 1 second. So we had Haley Short come on through. Yeah, I apologize that it looked like that was part of our freshman girls coming through. That right there was Addie Hudson with the JVA girls. That is Autumn Anderson, also with JVA girls, finishing out strong. There's a big smile, also a sigh of relief coming across there from Brindley Snar. Looks like she's holding 6th place with freshman girls. Kate Nelson with JVA girls finishes off with Brigham High School.
Continue to enjoy good weather. We got a little wind, but we'll take that in place of the rain any day. That's Brooklyn-born, Bingham High School. And standing on those pedals across the finish line, that's Natalie Butchell, Bingham High School. Nice work.
That was a huge finish right there. I love that.
That was great.
So just real quick, unofficially for freshman girls, our top 5, we have Jocelyn Pepper, Sarah Wong, Paige Gillespie, Indy Watts, and Kate Gillespie. And their times were all under 1 hour for 2 laps. That's incredible. Jocelyn Pepper at 54.30. That is amazing. Sarah at 55.04. Paige Gillespie at 55.59. Indy Watts at 56.51. And Kate Gillespie at 56.58. But right there, that was Hannah Leslie, and that looks like she was in 7th place for freshman girls.
And pushing right to the end for Bingham High School, that's Caitlin Barton. Yeah, these sub 1 hour 2 laps are just fantastic. Carbon High School's very own Lindsay Jesperson. Remember, these are freshman girls. For some of these, this is probably their 3rd race ever, and they're getting sub 1 hour 2 laps.
It is incredible. It's going to be fun to watch them as they get older and stronger, and just to see what they'll be able to do, and just watching them grow and pushing themselves to the limit.
Like we said earlier, it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if we see one of these young ladies competing in Olympic Games here in the next 8 to 10 years. Pure elation from Megan Anderson from Mountain Ridge High School as she comes across the finish line. Nice work.